Hey, good evening, everyone out there in, excuse me, YouTube land and Rumble. So I don't know. Brandon may be joining me a little later. I'm not 100%, excuse me, sure on that. But we'll be looking to keep an eye on. The, for those of you watching this, I'm going to be focusing more on the ballot initiatives here in Missouri, but we will also be keeping tabs on other, well, the presidential election, of course. See if I can get up one of the sites because I want to see all the different stuff here that we get. Let's see. Click here to review election results. So we're going to, like I said, the main thing I want to focus on is the ballot amendments because we've got Amendment 3, which is abortion, sports betting. We've got which is very weird because they don't have them all up here on KSDK, which is a little odd. Excuse me. But I want to keep more of an eye on the ballot initiatives and everything else because out of all of them, the only one that doesn't amend the Missouri Constitution is Prop A, which is the minimum wage. So again, I'm a little early tonight. We can just kind of sit here and chat, but I'm for some reason the built-in chat on my streaming software is not working. So if you're in the live chat and you make a comment, I have to keep. Actually, what I can do, I'll tell you what I can do. No, I can't do that. I was going to say, I have to. I'll have to keep swapping between different screens on my browser. So if I don't respond to you, that quickly, I apologize. Again, my streaming software is acting stupid. It's been acting. It's thrown this weird little thing tonight, and this past Friday, my stream starting soon screen wouldn't pop up. So I don't know if if it needs an update or maybe I need to reinstall it. But I'm not going to mess with that right now. So let's see what the best site will be to get said election results from. I mean, I know there's a boatload of them, but I want to try to find the one that keeps up, seems to keep up the most to date. And I normally go to a St. Louis station, but again, okay, so it looks like Channel 2 out of St. Louis has a better lock on I'm going to click out of the KSDK page. Learn more about what's on the ballots. Yeah. So it doesn't have a tracker up right now, which is visit this page after the polls close at 7 p.m. Oh, so I have to wait till after 7. I guess I should have started later. That's fine. We can just sit here and chit-chat and discuss whatever while we're waiting for the numbers to start coming in. Again, for those of you who may have just tuned in, I'm more worried about tonight's coverage will be more about the ballot initiatives here in Missouri. I want to see how many times the people decide they want to amend the Missouri Constitution again. And I don't know if Patrick from the Missouri Freedom Initiative is also doing one tonight. I haven't been on any of his streams in a while, and so I didn't know if he mentioned last Saturday night if he was going to do a live stream tonight. So I mean, if people leave and go over to his, it's fine, whatever. I just didn't have anything else going on. I thought, well, I'll live stream and we'll keep tabs on especially what's going on in here in Missouri. Now I will keep tabs on a couple of the guys, some of the candidates that have been on the show, Bill Slants, Jordan Rowden, Brandon, my co-host, and some others. But this is mainly about ballot initiatives. This is mainly to do with what's going on here in Missouri, and we'll go from there. To everybody in the live chat, let me know, just as a little experiment here, how many people actually, I don't know, can I put a poll up? I can put a poll up, right? Just put a poll up in the live chat. We'll start a poll. Okay, and the question is, I'm just going to put, will Trump win the presidential election? I'll just put that up for the time being, because all I had, let's see, add option. What's add? I don't want to add an option. We'll just get out of that crap. Really? Now it's going to mess with me. I'll try this again. I'll just put, will Trump win the election? We'll just start a poll. And again, I don't trust either of the two major candidates, regardless. But I will put up a poll just to see if what you guys' thoughts are on this whole presidential election. And generally, I still am of the mind that locally, elections mean more at the local levels, right? You have a better chance of gaining your freedom back at the local level. I'll be real honest. My main concern right now is the federal side, only because depending on who wins this wins the nomination for president, whoever becomes president after this election, and our foreign policy. Now, I'm not saying, let me start up by saying, I'm not saying that Trump would try to negotiate peace between Russia and Ukraine, but I do think it's more likely that he would do it before. I know Kamala Harris is not going to try to negotiate any peace deal between Russia and Ukraine, right? I don't think that's ever going to happen. Now, on the Israel side, I don't think either candidate's going to want to negotiate any peace and have Israel stop what it's doing to the people in Gaza and whatever. I don't think that's, neither candidate has shown any interest in doing that. But I think with Trump in office, you have a slight chance that he will try to negotiate a peace deal and say, let's just end this whole thing. And that's, to me, this election. And of course, folks, we may all disagree on this, right? And that's fine. What worries me is having someone like Harris in there who just doesn't know anything, who strictly wants that position of power, and everybody, the other people will be running the country for her. She will not be able to make a decision on her own at all. And so when we see what's going on with Israel and Ukraine, and we're still bombing Iraq, we're still giving money to Saudi Arabia to bomb Yemen, I just feel like the wrong person in there is going to march us right into World War III. Because Harris and the people, they think because Putin has not escalated beyond what it's been now, that he will never do that. Like, oh, we can just keep pushing his buttons because he hasn't blown us up yet. And they have this kind of false sense of security. So I feel like at this time, like, if we don't get somebody in there who's maybe a little less prone to just provoking anyone. Oh, excuse me. I am really tired. If I go on, I apologize. But anybody, or they just, they'll just bomb anybody anywhere because the people in the Department of Defense and the people in Foreign Affairs decide that this is a good idea. We don't need that right now. Now, again, what happens here in this state is also very important. What happens in your local area is very important. But not going into World War III is also very, very important. Um, just because we don't, if that happens, none of us will be here. And local elections and state elections won't mean anything if there's devastation everywhere. Or if they do it in such a way that they just cause even worse economic ruin than they already have. Now, I'm not saying either one of these candidates will get our economy back, but the war side of this thing and the way we're escalating things across the world really, really bothers me. And I know some people will disagree with that, and that's fine. I'm not here to try to talk you out of, whatever side of things you're on. I'm just saying that me personally, that's what bothers me. And I think it's vitally important that we don't have someone in occupying the White House that just doesn't care about anything other than having that position and then letting everybody else make the decision. And she's literally just a figurehead because there's nothing going on upstairs. And Voodoo Queen says Soros will be pulling the strings. Absolutely. Without a doubt. Again, do I trust Trump? No, not really. I don't really trust Trump. But it does. It just has me worried. I also worry that with someone like Kamala Harris in there, that she will be more prone to censor anyone outside the establishment. And I'm talking, anybody, especially like even people like Tom Woods or Dave Smith or any of these people who are libertarian, who always speak out against the regime. I can also see a Harris administration moving full steam ahead and emboldening the censorship regime, where on the internet you have no presence. They will censor you right out, just right out the door, and you're done. And that also worries me a great deal. I was listening to Dave Smith podcast, Part of the Problem, this morning. He had the great Scott Horton on there. And Scott Horton was talking about how when you take people's freedom of speech away, when you censor them, and you won't allow them, to get on YouTube or anywhere and just speak your mind, and they feel like they're cut off from the rest of the world and airing their grievances, sometimes that escalates to violence. Not with everybody, but there is that risk. And he talked about Syria, how originally when there was protests and Assad just kind of went, oh, okay, whatever. And then a few police officers got killed and he quashed the protests. That's when things got much more violent. And it's like as long as they're not destroying anything and they're just protesting, let them protest. If they're not blocking traffic, they're not destroying public property, then let them do their thing. Let them protest, let them air their grievances with their government, and things should be fine. Oh my God. I feel so terrible because I'm yawning so much, but it's been a long day. The first, second, and fourth will be in jeopardy first. Absolutely, Voodoo Queen. Absolutely. Those three amendments to those three natural rights solidified in the Constitution, enshrined into the Constitution, those will be first up for grabs, with some of these evil SOBs that want to come in and, tear up Jake. Just trying to keep an eye on Rumble and YouTube. But anyway, so yeah, I just, this year, the federal election, the presidential election seems a little more important to me than it normally would. Again, I just don't want a Kamala Harris type in office. That woman, because she's a mindless drone to the max, she really bothers me. But that's that's just my thoughts. I don't expect everyone to agree with me. That's not why I'm doing this. I'm just here to cover the election, and I might step away for a little bit and just leave the stream going, but step away from the mic for a little bit until that 7 o'clock hour. I should have known better. I should have known just to sit back and relax and chill out until the polls actually close and watch the numbers start coming in. I did do something funny at work today, and I did it out of amusement because I'm a child sometimes. That I went up to people who I know wouldn't vote for Harris. Uh, oh my God, I may have to actually step off here for a little while and just regroup. I'm yawning so much. But anyway, I walked up to people and I'm like, hey, don't forget when you get off work, don't forget to vote for Harris. And it is people. One guy said he was gonna smack me in the freaking mouth, but that's not the exact words he used. Now, of course, he knew I was joking. He was, of course, joking. But it there is. I'll say this, and this is. I got my union newsletter in my email box. I don't remember how many days ago. I open it up. I start scanning. Oh my God. I'm like the world's worst live stream host right now. I'm yawning like mad. But anyway, I got my monthly union newsletter, and I start to scan it to see what's in it. And I was like, but and I don't remember how exactly it read, but it was like, before I start on everything else, remember, Democrats are for the people and Republicans are for the corporations. And I'm like, so I immediately close it. Like, I'm not even reading the rest of this. This is horrible to just it's freaking. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to read that stuff, knowing, what most of us understand, that generally Democrats' economic policies are the most god awful things, and that they've never met a tax they didn't like, and they love growing the size of the state, and they love that we live under the largest government ever in recorded history. They love it. They're in love with the establishment. They love being central planners, and they want to plan out every part of your life and run it. And to tell me, that I should vote for a said person, that just blows my mind. That just absolutely just makes my brain almost explode into tiny bits. And so yeah, it was hard for me to look at, and I just closed it. I'm like, I'm done. I don't even want to read the rest of it because I'm being told who to vote for, and I did not go to work at a union factory to be told who to vote for. Also, just an update. For those of you who don't know, I did apply for a different job where I work now. I've gone through 3 interviews. And I'm being told there's a decent chance that I'm getting this position that I applied for. So for those of you who are my normal listeners and my normal viewers, because I'm not recording this for podcast purposes, I'm just live streaming tonight. But for those of you who watch on Friday nights, just be aware that somewhere down the road in the next few months, that if the show will move, because I will be on the weekend shift, which will either be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So if I'm on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the live stream will move to Wednesday nights. Same time, 6:30. We'll just move it back a couple nights, so it'll be in the middle of the week. If I get said position, because it will be 12 hours, 3 days a week. So if I'm on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I will have to move the live stream. If it doesn't, if I'm Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it won't have to move. And in fact, anyway, I still might move it just to, so because I know I'm going to have to go into work the next day and work 12 hours. I may just move it to Wednesday anyway and just be done. But it will move to 6:30. It will still be 6:30. It'll just move days. So please be aware that there's a very good chance that happens. And you know, so I'm hoping I get it. It'll be a nice change of be a lot of learning. It'll keep me physically active because I'll be walking the floor a lot. I won't be chained to a desk. And I'll have that human interaction thing that I love so much with a lot of people in the plant and everything. So that's what I'm working towards. Hopefully I get an answer here sooner rather than later so I can start planning how I need to adjust my lifestyle ever so slightly in order to fit with this new role. I don't have to do anything major. I don't have to move or do any of those things. But just be aware that if you are a normal viewer, the live stream, there's a good possibility it will be moving from Friday nights to Wednesday nights. It'll still be at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, but it's just going to be a different day. The schedule on MOLibertyRadio.us will not change. I already told them don't worry about shifting my stuff around because I know that makes it a pain for Sam. Just leave me in my normal time slot there. I'll be uploading the show a couple days earlier than normal. And they'll still run on Saturday and Wednesday on MOLibertyRadio.us. Also, if you've never checked out MOLibertyRadio.us, please do so. Sam and Trish would greatly appreciate some listenership on the live stream there. They have a lot of different programs. Now, Sam's program was on Wednesdays, his off-the-cuff radio program. It is now back to Sunday nights from 6 to 9 p.m. Central Time. So please check out Sam Britton and Trish Britton and Off the Cuff. 3 hours chock full of good information. So make sure you check that out. Do it for me. Tell him John sent you. I mean, you can't really tell him. But he does open up the phone lines. You can call in. There's a Team Talk link. If you have Team Talk on your computer and you want to check in during the broadcast, he'll tell you when Team Talk's open. Click that link. Take you right into Team Talk, and you can talk to Sam during the broadcast. So there's multiple ways you can interact with Sam during the show. So again, Sunday night, 6 to 9 p.m. Central Time, Off the Cuff, Sam and Trish Britton, M-O, so as an M-O is in Missouri, libertyradio.us. Yeah, Voodoo Queen, Sam and Trish are like the best. And Voodoo Queen also says, regardless of who wins, the economy is going to collapse. The CBs are in big trouble. Yeah. I have to admit, I was talking to a coworker today, and he's like asking me about all this stuff. And I feel bad because sometimes I feel like I'm being just super negative all the time, right? I feel like I'm just being negative Nancy and, so I told him, I was like, listen, he's like, oh, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I said, listen, Trump winning the election will not shift. There will be no major shift in the direction of this country because too many people still think that the government is supposed to fix their problems, that the responsibility does not fall on them to get their freedom back en masse, like massive amounts of people working together to get their liberty back. They think the government is supposed to be the protector and will be there to, give them whatever they need. Even if it's a Republican in office, we got to get the government to do this. And it's supposed to be the opposite. And I said, I just don't ever see us moving away from that mindset. Sometimes you can put the brakes on for a little bit, but we're still headed in the same direction. It's if you're going at 100 miles an hour or you're going at 70 miles an hour. You're just going in the same direction. You just slowed the train down a little bit. You're still riding off the edge of the cliff. You're just getting there slower. And so I wish people would just stop with the if Trump gets elected, this and that's going to happen, and we're going to save America. Because Trump can't save. I don't care if Trump was the second coming of Ron Paul. Ron Paul on his own, if he was the projected winner of a presidential election, Ron Paul couldn't save this country by himself. He couldn't. He can't do it. It's virtually impossible. It has to be a concerted effort of all of us coming together to work on getting our liberty back. We all have to share this common goal. Now, we may have our subtle differences and we may think about things a little differently, but if liberty is the ultimate goal, then I think, and you're surrounded by people who that's their ultimate goal is the most liberty they can have, it's hard to go wrong. If you're with a group of people who can all agree that bigger government solves nothing and just curtails your freedoms, you're in a pretty good group of people. And if you all understand that you can't just hope to elect one person and it just solves the problems, you're in a good group of people. That's a great way to get your liberty back. Now, to those of you who might watch this at some point, I'm located in central Missouri. To anyone who's newer that's watching, and I am working on next year, end of April, beginning of May. For those who don't know, I am working on putting together a Coolidge Day for Calvin Coolidge, because I think that's the last great president that we had in America. He understood liberty. He understood limited government. He understood the thing of trying not to take more and more of your money in taxation. He realized the more taxation, the more curtailment of liberty. So I'm going to try to put together, while I'm actively working on putting together a Coolidge Day here, and it will be held in Owensville, Missouri. And as time draws closer and as things kind of get set up, I hope that you all will be interested in joining me. If I understand if you got to drive 4 hours, I get it. But if you live somewhere close to Owensville, I hope you will join us for the very first Coolidge Day, and it's something that we can all work together on and build upon, and actually celebrate a president who understood what freedom is. Because we have right now the Republicans have Lincoln days, which I have a lot of problem with. They have Reagan days. I mean, hindsight, if you had to pick, like especially today, if you had to pick between Reagan and whoever else, if you don't pick Reagan, I think you're out of your mind as far as Republicans go. You're going to go with Reagan because he's way less big government than these people are. Voodoo Queen says the only reason I voted for Trump is I don't want World War III and my 21-year-old grandson shipped off to die for the money machine. Yeah. Again, I did vote for him today because I also knew that people like Chase Oliver and Jill Stein don't have a shot, and you know what, to win, and I'm trying to avoid, as Voodoo Queen said, World War III. Am I happy? Am I happy that I had to vote for Trump today, or that I voted? Not really. I'm not really ecstatic about it, but I did. I did do it, and that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. I did that, and it's nothing that I'm not going to go to work tomorrow and be like, I voted for Trump. I don't want that psychotic woman to win. And when you say that, people are like, oh, you don't like women. It's not that I don't want a woman president. I just don't want that woman being president. Just like I didn't want Hillary Clinton being president. Because she's also a psychopath. Now, she would have made a lot of decisions, and it would have been a lot of war hawkish decisions to go to war with anybody and their brother. That's Hillary Clinton. She seemingly loves to just kill people, whether it's former aides or people on the other side of the world. She's more than happy to murder people, just straight up shoot people and shit, and I'd be like, not even care, just like, okay, cool. I'll kill them. I'll kill them all. Watch this. So I don't really. People are going to try to say some of us are sexist because we didn't vote for a female president. It has nothing to do with her gender. It has to do with her frame of mind and her lack of seemingly lack of intelligence. And listen, I'm not the brightest crayon in the box, but she makes me feel like I should be designing rocket engines. She is out of her mind. But yeah, it is what it is. Here we are, crazy world. And it's something else I told the guy that worked next to me today. I said, this is the problem. We're getting to the point in the last few elections, anybody but whatever person. So when, of course, now Trump won 2016, but it seemed like don't elect Trump. And then 2020 is anybody but Trump. And now the mindset and for a lot of people seems to have switched back to anybody but Harris. So we have people running for office that are so bad, but one of them is visibly just like horrible. Listening to them talk, you're like, holy smokes, this person has no intelligence, that your brain goes, we literally just can't have that. It's not because one person is truly principled and you're like, hey, this is someone who knows how government's supposed to operate. It's not that. It's just one of them is so smelly that you even plugging your nose, you can't bear to pull the lever for that person's name, and you just end up voting for the other person. And I told him, I said, I think elections from now on are going to be like this. They're going to be like this. They're both going to suck, but one's just going to be obviously horrible. And you're going to set into motion the minds of the people going, we definitely don't need that. But then the other scary part is there are a whole boatload of people who will be voting for Harris and think that it's like she's equipped for the job, that she's good to be president. That's more frightening than her being the nominee, because people are like, I can't believe she's the nominee. I'm like, listen, the Democrats set a trap for themselves, right? They set a trap. Biden wanted to run for re-election. They let him. He did horrible in the debate. They cooed him out because a day before he's like, only God's going to pull me out of this. And then the next day, Lord Trump and Lord Pelosi and Lord whoever else said, you're sitting this one out, buddy. And then he doesn't even release that he's not running again on White House letterhead. It was his own personal letterhead. And so if they would have just skipped over Kamala Harris, there would have been a huge uproar in the Democrat Party, even though Harris seemingly was a DEI hire for Biden to get more votes from people of other skin colors because, she could be the first black, female vice president. First woman of color vice president. So she was basically a DEI hire, but then they coup Biden out. They didn't have time to get anything else together, so they're stuck with Harris. And then the media and political machines came out full tilt trying to convince everyone that Harris is it. She is joy. She is this. She is that. And it's just... And you have to be completely blind and out of your mind to think that when you listen to Kamala Harris speak, that there's even a modicum of intelligence, even just a microscopic amount of intelligence there. You can tell there's nothing, an empty suit. It's just that, they set the trap for themselves with their wokeism. And if they would have skipped over her and picked a white dude, oh my God, they would have had people. There would have been people losing their minds everywhere. It would have looked like 2016 when Trump got elected. People just screaming at the sky, right? So it is a funny situation they stuck themselves in. They put themselves into this situation, and I find it absolutely. I find it kind of entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. I find it really entertaining. It's freaking hilarious. But You know, oh, I think that might be Brandon calling in. It is. Brandon, are you there? Uh-oh. See, here we go again. Skype's doing stupid stuff. Nope. Connection is too weak. Skype has been awful the last few weeks. I don't know what in the heck is going on with Skype, but it's driving me absolutely bat you know what crazy. And we've had connection issues the last 2 weeks that he's just dropped out. And I'm thinking we may have to go to like Discord or something to start doing our show. Oh, there he is calling in on the phone. Hey Brandon, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you fine, loud and clear.
What's going on? Happy Election Day.
Absolutely. I don't know. I answered on Skype and it was just dead on the other end.
So I was on my phone and I was just using the Skype audio, and it wasn't. So I was hoping you could hear me, and didn't know if you could see me. I'm kind of on baby duty right now.
oh yeah, that's fine. No, you're cool. We're just I stupidly. Okay, why is that showing up? Did I what's going on now? I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm gonna just shut off Skype, I guess. I don't need that stupid stuff showing up on my screen. I swear to God, this whole thing is gonna drive me absolutely bat you know what crazy. There it goes. It just had a Skype symbol.
If we're not on the
radio,
you can. Now, if we're not on the radio, you can say the bat you know what.
I know, but I'm trying to not get in that habit
of
saying
for
it.
Sure. No, for sure.
I am, because I don't know who's going to, and I don't know, somebody might, like Sam didn't tell me he was going to pick it up and broadcast it, but I'm like, I better not, just in case he didn't tell me and he decides to, and then I'm cursing and he has to run back downstairs and shut the stream off. And like, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't think he's going to, but I think he would have.
Just in case.
Yeah, but I should have waited like another. I should have started till 7. I started at 6, and I don't know why, because none of the results are going to be in until the polls start closing. So.
Well, no, there's some results in.
Is there?
Florida, or not Florida. Yeah, Indiana and Kentucky both went to Trump. Vermont went to Harris, and there's a bunch of Florida votes in. There's one interesting thing is they were doing an exit poll from Georgia, and last election in 2020, Biden ran away with independents. And this time around, Trump is actually running away with independents based on the exit poll. I was watching CNN just a minute ago, and they were asking Chris Wallace what he thought about the independents going for Trump in Georgia this time around, and he was like, I just, I'm not sure I understand it. I really don't know what to make of it. I can't believe it. And so, yeah, it was a pretty good watch. Right now, I got to get my TV working on, put some CNN back on, see the meltdown happen. The Trump wins, there's going to be a meltdown. I'm right here on the couch for it.
Yeah, because I'm seeing right now, it says Kamala Harris is projected to take Vermont's electoral college votes, while Kentucky, South Carolina, and Indiana have all been projected for Trump.
Oh, South Carolina, that's new.
Yep, so that one's new too. Let me see. Trying to get, oh good Lord, just because I was trying to keep track of the I was trying to keep track of all the ballot initiatives here in Missouri, and then I didn't even think about the polls closing until 7 o'clock before those elections results started coming in, and I was like, you dipstick, but it'll be fine. It's whatever. I was just trying to find a good site for like the Missouri side to see polling numbers as they came in. It looks like Fox 2 is going to be it. KSDK doesn't have squat.
Really? I figured I figured KMOV, Fox 2 Now, and KSDK would all have.
Let me try.
I figured they'd all be on top of it. I'm shocked by that.
Let's see. Let's see. Election results. Okay, so good Lord. Okay, so right now they do have. Okay, well KMOV's doing okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna stick with KMOV. They've got the best thing up here as far as the president, and then the governor, lieutenant governor, treasurer, all that, and then all the amendments and Prop A. So yeah, they've got everything right here on this screen. I'll just so yeah, right now Trump's up 852,000 votes. So I don't know. That doesn't mean a whole lot right now, but
Is that nationally? You were saying?
yeah, I
Like
think so.
nationally,
Yeah,
he's up there?
that's national. Yeah,
Okay.
he's got.
I just turned on MSNBC on my TV, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know their reaction.
Well, I don't think they'll react too much until unless it gets later in the evening, and then like the real results start showing up if he's going to win, and then you're going to see the tears just absolutely roll, and and then I'm going to laugh like mad. I'm not going to
We're
lie.
gonna have to dedicate. If Trump wins and they announce it tonight, we're gonna have to dedicate a whole section on Friday to just the reaction. Because I mean, I can't wait. I want them to put some Rachel Maddow on the screen when they announce like Georgia for Trump.
Yeah, yeah. You get it's awful to admit, but watching people melt down. I don't know, Brandon, if you saw this or not. The Missouri State University is. I saw a screenshot being passed around today on the social medias. Missouri State University has already made an announcement because of this week. They're going to have all their counselors available for all the kiddies who might have a meltdown depending on the election results. And I'm like,
you're kidding.
No, I'm like, this is the state of colleges, and personally, I'm thinking if you're thinking of like, especially in this day and age, if you're thinking of letting your kid just go off to college, I think you're out of your mind.
Well, you better. Here's the thing. The only time I want my kids to go to college is if there's something they want to be that you have to get a degree for. So if they want to be a doctor or a lawyer or something that requires a degree, then sure. I really definitely don't want my kids going for just a basic liberal arts degree because they feel the need to. And also, yeah, I hopefully when I send my kids to college, they're smart enough to be the influencer, not the influenced. Like, hopefully I wouldn't send someone off to college who can just be easily manipulated by the socialist agenda. Hopefully I've instilled in them, constitutional values enough where when they leave the house, that they're not brainwashed when they get to college.
Oh, I know. It's absolutely just insane, but nothing surprises me anymore with this. I just go, oh, okay, well, everyone's retarded. Great. Good job. Well done.
I got breaking but not breaking. West Virginia goes to Trump.
Yep. It's
of course it did, but yeah, Trump took West Virginia.
He's still up about 800,000 votes according to. Now this is only 1%. This is at 6:30, November 5th, 2024. 1% reported so far.
What I'm looking at right now,
a lot of president. What are all these freaking different political parties?
There's still like a Constitution Party, the Libertarian Party, the Green Party. There was one new one I saw today on my ballot in Missouri. I can't even remember the name. It was something real goofy.
Oh yeah, I remember. I'm trying to remember. Well, all I see is the only things they've got on the screen are Harris, Chase Oliver, Donald Trump, and Jill Stein. That's the only people I see listed here.
So a lot of the third party candidates have like their own debates, obviously, because Kamala and Trump weren't going to invite third party candidates to their debate,
Heck
but
no.
they all have their own separate debates. And I saw a couple people, and I know, oh man, what's his name? There's a crazy guy who he was running on the Green Party, and then he decided to run as an independent. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. The black guy with like white curly hair.
Oh,
I
Cornell
can't remember.
West.
Cornell West. Cornell West, I thought was running for president also, but not. I don't know if he's running independent or if he's on one of those like goofy third parties.
See, that's the thing. When I look, there's literally like 20 names up here, and I saw his name. Where is it at? Yeah, Cornell. The initials in front of his name are AUR. Because Joel Skousen is the constitutional, but there's SPU, CON. I guess, I don't know what Oh, Vermin Supreme. Remember that dude? Ran against Roy Blunt. But there's SWP, NPA, CST, ASP. What is that?
You know what's interesting about
PFP? I don't know.
What's interesting about getting on the ballot in Missouri is it's the same number of ballots to get to field an entire political party as it is to field one candidate as an independent. So you're better off just starting your own political party and getting the ballots for that, because then you have a group effort in it versus ever running as an independent, because it's the same number of signatures to get on the ballot.
That's true, which is crazy.
Funny enough, I got invited to a candidate forum at UMSL, and while I was there was another third-party candidate guy there, and he was running for District 1, and his whole speech was about how good of a job Wesley Bell would do. And he's literally running against him and was talking about how he was like, actually, I know him. We grew up together, and all the work he did in Ferguson, and I really like Wesley Bell. And someone in the crowd who was like a Cory Bush supporter stood up and yelled, "Are you running, or are you just supporting Wesley Bell?" So it was the same. Like 2 minutes later, someone in her group got thrown out for screaming some pro-Palestine stuff at Cory Bush or at Wesley Bell. So
oh God.
Yeah, that was a fun event. Yeah, I actually ended up. So they cut a piece of that for the local news and ran a story, and I was one of the like 10 seconds of what they cut for that news story. And in the article, it's like someone got kicked out for screaming pro-Palestine stuff. It was a fun time.
Oh God, that's hilarious. Yeah, now Trump's up about 1 million votes now. But yeah,
So,
we're still way early in the polling and everything else. But very, very interesting. Going to be very interesting to watch. I'm just going to pull up my screen here so everybody can kind of see what I'm looking at, so I'm not such a freak. Here we go. Yeah, that's what we're looking at right now.
I'll tell you what's interesting. From what I'm seeing, every time they compare a county from this election to the last election, Trump is doing very, very slightly better. Like almost every time they show a county and then show it from last year, like one that came in from this year to 4 years ago, he's doing just a little bit better, which in a state like Georgia and North Carolina means a lot. So we'll see. I know North Carolina, they're probably upset with the Biden-Harris administration over their response to the flooding. So if I had to guess, right now, they're probably all fired up for Trump. That's my guess.
I would. You would think that would be almost a logical response, somewhat. I'm not saying voting for Trump is logical, but
yeah,
it's you can understand why they would. After the response to the Hawaii, same way. You're like, why would I support either of these douche canoes when this is the way they treated us? Oh yeah, we'll give you minimal money, and oh, don't forget you have to log on to a site, and fill out a thing to get it. Oh hey dumbass, we don't have We don't have, the internet right now. How do you propose we do that? And things like that. You're thinking, well, yeah, I wouldn't want them. No wonder they're freaking upset. Oh, what? I don't understand why these people wouldn't vote for me. 'Cause you're a moron and you treated us like turds because you were too busy out gallivanting around doing other dumb stuff. So yeah, what did you think was going to happen? But yeah,
did you see what was it? The Jill Biden went to vote today in a red pantsuit. And normally I would say that like it's conspiratorial to be like that's a push against Biden Harris or against Kamala Harris. But if you look at everything that Joe Biden's done since they took that nomination away from him, since they kicked him out and installed Kamala Harris instead, he's made a bunch of subtle moves that are like basically snides at Kamala Harris, I think. And I think this might have been one of them. Like normally I wouldn't agree, but I think in the succession of things that's happened, I could see her wearing that red pantsuit to be like, not only did you take the presidency from Joe Biden, like you took it from me. I was basically running things behind the scenes, and you took it from me too. What do you think? Do you make anything of that?
Well, excuse me. It is funny. Here's my thing. Remember when Biden was at that rally and let's see. And then somebody gave him a Trump hat and he put it on over the top of his hat? So,
yeah.
You might dial that up to, well, Joe's not mentally all there. But then, yeah, like you said, Jill Biden shows up in a red suit to go vote. So,
but I really do think it's like they're very I feel like they're still holding a grudge against. Yeah, I still think they're holding a grudge against Harris and like the whole Democrat, the establishment Democrats that threw him out.
I think
Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. I'm for sure he's holding a grudge.
So here's my thing. Oh, come on, shut the screen up. I'll tell you this. Supposedly, after 2016, when they snubbed Biden in favor of Hillary Clinton, there was a rift between Biden and Obama that never went away. There's always been that rift. So, yeah, I'm sure Obama had a major hand in telling Biden he needed to step down and give it to somebody else. And this, yeah, there could be subtle shots like, I'm going to make sure this broad don't win nothing. I can see that happening.
You said that Biden took it away from Clinton in 2020, and so
Biden was running, and Obama, they basically just kind of shunned Biden and gave it to Hillary Clinton. They wanted Hillary Clinton to get the nomination, and Biden wanted to run, and Obama didn't back Biden. He backed Hillary Clinton.
In 2016.
Yeah, 2016. Sorry. And so.
Oh, okay. No. I just couldn't figure out what we were talking about. But yeah. So basically, Obama stiffed Biden on that.
Yep.
And so they've had bad blood since. Yeah, yep. I could definitely see that.
They have not been. Biden. I mean, the Biden family is not fond of Barack Obama at all. And so, yeah, there's every possibility in the world that. Biden could be making these little sudden, or like these little subtle gestures like, I don't know. That's the thing, though. I don't know if he would take that out on Harris or not. But I know that.
Oh, I would.
I mean,
I'm just saying, if it was me, I totally would be doing exactly what he's doing because you can't overtly come out and say, I don't support Kamala Harris. Like everything you've worked for your entire life would be in shambles. They would probably do something to Hunter Biden. Like because of all the legal trouble he's in, they probably did threaten him. Like we're gonna put Hunter Biden in jail if you don't step down, some stuff like that.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt
So
it.
yeah, he's probably every chance he gets, he's gonna put on a Trump hat. He knows his record isn't great on the economy. Like 41% of the people approve of his job, and he made it a point to go out there and say Kamala Harris was with me every step of the way. He at the moment he got into office, he made her the border czar, which is never a winning play.
No,
I love it. I like this angry Joe Biden.
I mean, yeah, if he can damage Harris in any way, why not? Go for
Right.
it.
I'm not saying I like Joe Biden. Let me correct myself.
Well, no.
I like the subtle snide moves he's making.
Yeah, those little jabs. It doesn't
Yeah.
really hurt. It just stings a little bit. You just throw in those little jabs to set up the knockout blow later. Um, but as I was saying, when I kind of like towards the beginning of the live stream, since I decided to start way too early, was that now I completely forgot my train of thought. God bless. Oh, I was saying how Harris was pretty much a DEI hire, and when they cooed Biden out and said you we're not going to let you run again, you have to step down. They were stuck with Harris because if they would have chosen some white person over her, the Democrat Party would have been in shambles. So they were kind of stuck running her because she could be the first woman of color president. They had no choice. And this is what's hilarious. If she loses tonight, I mean, the Democrat Party's getting everything they deserve for what they've done. What, not just these last 4 years, but for years ahead. If she loses, and it's I don't think it'll be a landslide, but let's say just Trump wipes the floor with her. It's nothing that she doesn't deserve, and it's nothing that the Democrats don't deserve either for the way they've behaved. So I find that I'll again, not a fan of Trump, but also definitely not a fan of Harris. Yeah, Voodoo Queen says not one Democrat voted for Kamala in the primaries. No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Well, she didn't even make it to Iowa when she actually ran in 2020. She didn't even make it. She was the first one out because Tulsi Gabbard put the death blow in her in the first debate.
Oh man, somebody. Do I still have it on my? I found it today in my photo roll. I've got all these memes saved, and most of them are not very politically correct. But there was a great one. I got to see if I can find it because I know it's way back in my photo roll here. Pull up the iPhone and see if I can find it. It was just too funny, and I completely forgot I had it on my phone, and I was like, holy smokes, that one stings. Freaking hilarious, but it showed a picture of Harris and Tulsi Gabbard, and what did it say? The best people to roast a pig are Hawaiian or something like that. And, oh, yeah, here it is. Nobody can roast a pig better than a Hawaiian. And it just shows it's the picture from the Democrat debates in 2020. Harris has got this look on her face like, what? And of course, Tulsi's just looking like, yep, I said it, and I'll say it again, you old witch. So, yeah, it was pretty freaking awesome.
Classic.
But yeah, that was a great. I've got some pretty funny memes on my phone. Again, most of them aren't politically correct, so I can't. I got it. I'm gonna text you one, just because I know that we both kind of have a dark sense of humor. So when you look at this later, you're probably gonna laugh hysterically. It's just I can't help myself. Other people send me this stuff, and I just screenshot it, keep it around for later when I need to laugh.
That's funny. I took a look at it. That's funny. I won't repeat what's on it, but I will just let you know.
It's good dark humor. It's fantastic dark humor. But yeah, it's nobody can roast a pig like a Hawaiian, and that's what Tulsi Gabbard did. And again, folks, I don't hold out any hope that Trump is going to be, again, as I said in the beginning of the show, I don't care if it's Ron Paul. Ron Paul could be elected president tonight. Nothing's going to change. The only thing that'll change is Ron Paul would veto about every bill that came through, slowing the and causing, and making them override the veto. But let's say Trump totally is going to change his behavior and be totally different than the last time he was in office. It still won't really change anything because 99% of the other congressmen are also useless, right? I mean, If you,
Yeah.
yes, again, he could say, I'm going to veto every stupid bill you send me, slowing the process down. But most of them are going to hate him so bad that they'll work their tails off to override any veto that action that he does. So I hate that people think that because one person gets into office that it's going to change everything. The change starts with us, not in the not necessarily at the ballot box, but by our actions and how we interact with government. If we choose all to stand together against a tyrannical state, that makes more of a statement than going in and filling in circles on a ballot. That's just my personal view there. Um,
Like I said, I think that we're going to know what kind of presidency Trump's going to have before he gets into office. When he announces his cabinet position picks,
yeah,
like we're going to know by the 1st of January, probably, or right around it, what his presidency is going to look like. And I'm still holding out hope that he's got like Vivek Ramaswamy's in some like Secretary of State. He's going to have someone, like Tulsi Gabbard as Secretary of Defense. He could have, he actually start like a government efficiency program with Elon Musk and Ron Paul a part of it. I mean, that could still happen. I'm not optimistic in that at all, but no. It could happen. And I understand all the people who voted for him thinking that could happen. There's a chance. But I'm, like I said last time, I'm looking at his record in foreign policy on the Middle East, in China. I'm looking at his love for welfare, his love for Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid and all that. And, just thinking in the long term, like it might be great short term. He might be a great short term president. He might accomplish some decent things, especially as far as limiting the government, like cutting the Department of Education. That would be fantastic. But do I think he's going to stop the spending? Do I think he's going to pull us out of all of these places overseas? Not necessarily. I'll still be here to critique him when he screws up if he wins today.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That's what we have to do. If they do something right, you praise them. If they do something wrong, you have to criticize them. That's what being a liberty lover. That's what the liberty lovers do. If somebody does something right, regardless of what party they're in, I'm just blanking tonight. I'm over here reading the live chat and like losing my train of thought. But I would like to see the cabinet appointments that you mentioned. Vivek Ramaswamy. Maybe he can take on something, even if it's something with the economy. Again, I would like to see like Secretary of State, somebody, Tulsi Gabbard. I would like RFK to be the head of the FDA, and maybe start shedding some of the you don't really want to call it nepotism, but the favoritism towards the big pharma, and saying, well, not anymore, boys. You're gonna have to wait 4 years.
You just have to cut off the revolving door. What you can't have is people who sit on the board of the FDA then go sit on the board of Moderna and Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson, and then vice versa. You can't have them going back and forth. Or at least you've got to call out some form of, the hypocrisy on that. That would be a good start.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like I said, I just hope that as the vote totals come in, now of course we're not. Oh, this is 2%. Trump is up 1.3 million votes in the popular vote.
What do you think about have you seen the RFK Jr. was said that he wants to take the fluoride out of the water system in America? I have to be 100% honest with you. I feel ignorant for this, but I haven't done enough research on fluoride in water. I've heard that it's bad for you. I heard it's good for your teeth. I really don't know if you knew more about fluoride and could shed light on it if you know more about that.
Okay, well, this will creep you out a little bit. From my understanding, Now, I have not done enough research to know this for sure. I'm just telling you what I've um, heard. And I've heard people who generally do good research say that the Germans and I believe the Russians put fluoride in the water of their camps because it made people more docile. So if that doesn't creep you out, I don't know what.
I could believe that for sure.
So fluoride, from my understanding, fluoride is a byproduct of production. So when I read the book Murder by Injection by Eustace Mullins, he has a section in there about fluoride. And they were just trying to figure out what to do with this fluoride. So I'm guessing they created a campaign to say, oh, we'll put it in the drinking water. And that's what they did. But I believe one prominent senator or something who was a part of that supposedly said at a dinner, fluoridated water will never touch my lips. So if that, Voodoo Queen says fluoride causes dementia and to make people calm and controllable. So, yeah.
Yep.
And now,
that sounds about like what our government would be putting into everyone's water system across the country. Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, and the thing is that you could get a toothpaste without fluoride as long as it had some, I don't know what it could have some other things in it that also kill bacteria that, if you swallow it, it's not. Because that's the thing. You think about it. If you're told not to swallow toothpaste. Okay, well, if you can't swallow toothpaste because of the fluoride, then why is it good to put in the water? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Toothpaste because it's gross.
Well, yeah, it is gross,
no,
but
I'm just kidding.
Well, no, you're right.
But,
it is.
yeah.
It is freaking gross. Okay, now Trump's up about 1.5 million votes right now. 2% reporting in. Like I said,
Yeah,
I'm waiting for like the Missouri governor and all these amendments. That's what I'm really looking for. I want to see all that stuff.
I'm curious. From what I've gathered, from what I've heard, I'm thinking 2's going to pass pretty easy, but I could be wrong.
Let's see, 2 is that sport? Oh, I believe sports betting will pass. I think the Osage River Casino will pass. I think the law enforcement benefits will pass. I honestly think every one of these ballot initiatives on top of Prop A is going to pass tonight.
What Prop A?
Prop A is the minimum wage.
Oh, you think that might fail, or you think that?
I think it's going to pass. I'd almost bet you dollars to donuts that almost all, if not all, these proposition and amendments pass tonight. I know, dude.
I begrudgingly voted yes on 2. I don't like that it's a constitutional amendment, and I also don't like the 10% tax on it. But now you have a choice. You can either go gamble and pay a 10% tax, or before you couldn't. So I guess I voted for it just because it does give you more freedom than you had before. But it's a terrible way of doing it. It's a bad precedent for, like you said, like you talk about it all the time, of just putting all these constitutional amendments in versus, trying to get it done in the legislature, which is what's supposed to happen.
Yeah, I'm not. Again, I'm not a fan of. And again, I had a Facebook post, and I know some people that I probably work with don't agree with it. But until last Friday, when we covered the amendments again, I don't remember when. Tom and I may have discussed this, but I don't remember when Tom March was on with me. And we discussed all the amendments. I think it was one of the weeks you were off because of your new child. So I don't remember covering the part or us discussing the part where any government institution basically was exempt from paying minimum wage, but every private business has to. And I was talking to somebody about that at work today. They're like, whoa, no way. And I go, yeah, way. He had already voted, and he had already voted against the minimum wage law. I know he did. But he was unaware that government had exempted itself from the pay scale that they're forcing on everyone else. And I'm like, well, that's pretty hypocritical. But I just posted it just to tell people. I was like, I didn't say anything about whether I agreed or disagreed with the law. I was just telling people that if you think everyone's going to get minimum wage, you're wrong. Trying to say,
Also, not to mention, you're saying we've got to pay a living wage, a quote unquote living wage to the high schooler working at the snack shack in the summer.
yeah,
That's ridiculous. Like, what? She's supposed to be able to support a family working part time at the snack shack? Like, I just don't.
but
Everybody earns. Isn't part of it everybody earning paid time off too?
yeah,
Or is it sick leave? What is it?
every 30 hours worked, you get 1 hour of paid sick leave. So let's say some kid's working at a snack shack and he employs 9 people. He has to give all 9 of those people 5 paid sick days a year. And again,
That's just crazy.
government doesn't have to do it. The school districts don't have to do it. The universities don't have to do it. It's literally just all the other private industries, anybody, mom and pop shops up to big giant corporations have to abide by this, and they don't.
What's really sad is there's like all kinds of free government stuff. Like, I would benefit from all of it. Like, I benefit from the paid time off. I benefit from student loan reimbursement. You know, all of these other government incentives. I benefit from them, and I still vote against them because it's not about me. You know, it's about what's best for the country. And it's so sad so many people have forgotten that. Like, they just are so blinded by what can I get right now for myself that they don't care how it's going to affect the country in 5 years, 10 years, how it's going to affect prices at the grocery store. Drives me crazy.
So it looks like now, on the presidential side, they're projecting Trump's got Indiana, Kentucky, West Virginia, Alabama, Mississippi, and right now Trump is also in the lead South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. Now, right now, it looks like Oklahoma.
They just announced Florida for Trump.
Texas is blue right now. Can you believe that? Well, I can't believe that after
They
all
probably
those
just
idiots from California moved there.
No, I bet what happened is they probably just have only counted the blue counties. My guess,
yeah.
that would be my guess, is that they've only counted like Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, San Antonio. I bet once you start getting out of there, I mean, I just couldn't see him winning Florida and losing Texas. I just couldn't see it.
Now, we know like Illinois, California, all that, but
they just announced Missouri for Trump. Not a big shocker. And then they just announced Alabama. I'm watching like on live on the TV.
Yeah, I just literally saw it posted on KMO. I'm just going to pull this back up for anybody that's still watching to see this. So Florida just got announced. Oklahoma just got announced. Let's see. It looks like Harris is up in Ohio and Pennsylvania, which is not good for Trump, but hey, whatever. He takes
again. It all depends on where, like.
Yeah, the major metropolitan areas.
But if she didn't do good in and around Philadelphia and in and around Pittsburgh, then that's going to look great for Trump, even though he's losing the count.
Right.
I wish I was at my computer right now. I got my baby girl in my arms, but I wish I was at my computer so I could check and see which counties were going which direction.
Yeah, I don't, and they're not going to pull up on this map that I'm looking at, so it won't really matter. It's just going to be interesting to watch. Again, if Trump wins, I can see some people. Like I said, I would not want to live in a major metropolitan area if Trump wins. No way, no how.
The only thing is, I know for sure they said that Nevada, Arizona, and somewhere else that they're not going to have election results right away. So if it comes down to those 2 states, we're not going to know for a couple of days because who knows what the Democrats will try to pull if Trump's barely winning in like Arizona.
Right.
Was it 2020 or 2022? I think it was 2022. No, I really can't remember where Maricopa County, like their didn't their machines like shut down.
Yeah, they had something very
voting in Maricopa.
Yep. They had some very odd things going on in that county and really some other counties across. Maricopa just made it was the biggest news story, but yeah, it was definitely
it was 2022. I think because Kerry Lake was running. It was Kerry Lake's senatorial run.
Yep.
Where they screwed everything up.
Okay, well, we're at 7:03, so hopefully we start getting numbers on. Let me see if I can pull up the. Okay, so I'm going to show Missouri so I can keep an eye on. Of course, nothing's being reported yet here, but I definitely want to keep an eye on all these amendments and everything just to see. And the governor's race, I highly doubt that Kehoe's not going to win. I see.
You know, the real interesting one could be the Coons Hawley.
Yeah,
It's nuts, but it's Coons. I don't know why. That gets stuck in my head. I actually, you know, it doesn't even rhyme, but it's for some reason catchy. It's
yeah.
nuts, but it's Coons.
Kuntz is just, and then he,
The problem with like all the Democrats, even ones that get elected in Missouri, like they all end up in lockstep with the Democrat Party. They
Yep.
never end up voting outside of the party. The ones that have were Christian Cinema and who's the one from West Virginia?
oh God, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
But those two both left the Democrat Party because they refused to vote in lockstep, and were just getting pummeled with like. I'm sure by the insiders, I'm sure Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi were like all over them. And then by all their voters, not the voters, but like all of the insiders within the Democrat Party, they were all just like hounding these guys to the point where they're like, you know what, screw it, we don't even want to be Democrats anymore if we can't have our own independent votes when we need to. Especially because when you're a Democrat in West Virginia and Arizona, it's not a lock for your election. You have to do things that actually make sense every now and then.
Yeah. What's that say? Oh. So I'm just looking at these maps and see how people voted. Let's see. So like in West Virginia, it shows Trump had 63, Kamala Harris had 35.4, and they're showing 1.6. Kennedy had 0.9%, Chase Oliver 0.3%, Jill Stein 0.3%.
Wait, in Missouri?
No, that was West Virginia. The map,
Oh, okay.
our KMOV has nothing up for Missouri yet, and I just keep refreshing to see if it's gonna change yet, and it hasn't. So
it's
see.
Weird that RFK was still on the ballot in West Virginia, and that 1% of the population voted for him.
Yeah.
He came out several times saying vote for Trump.
Yep.
Who supports Kennedy? Where like I like Kennedy, but not when he says to vote for Trump. I'm going to keep voting for him.
Well, I mean,
What?
some people just on the pure principle of it, they're just like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and vote for. I'm voting for you anyway, bro. Sorry, I'm gonna burst your bubble, but I have to pull the lever for you. So
I trust your judgment and opinion, but not with this. Just is weird to me. I don't know. Strange.
I just hope to God that I would hope out of everything to see Trump say I'm putting RFK in charge of the FDA. Just to see those freak jobs scramble. Nothing would just. It would be great entertainment if nothing else.
Yeah. I'm trying to see. They're going over the counties in Georgia on MSNBC right now, and I'm trying to see if they're saying that it's good news or bad news. He's still winning by a pretty good number, and half of Fulton County, which is where Atlanta is, half of Fulton County's in, and Trump is still winning by 13 points in Georgia. So seems to be good news for his campaign, but I mean, it's too early to call right now. That's what they say.
It's freaking hilarious, man. Freaking hilarious. I know. Like I said, this is kind of entertaining for me. I just want to see the meltdown.
I know, dude.
I hate to be so childish, but people just, again, they have to get to understanding that one person's not going to change the trajectory of this country. No way, no how.
They're also just so pompous and so better. They're holier than thou with everything they say. It's good to see them just be like I said with Chris Wallace earlier. I don't understand why the independents wouldn't vote for Kamala Harris. Dude, I pulled a classic move. I pulled a Charlie Kirk. at my work the other day because there's this young kid. He's like 20 years old, and he was telling me that him and his girlfriend had plans to vote for Harris. And I was like, hey,
Ooh.
man, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. You vote for whoever you want, but can you just tell me one accomplishment Kamala Harris has that makes you want to vote for her? Just tell me one thing that she's done that you like. And he couldn't do it.
Yeah, can't. They can't.
And I was just like, that explains it all.
They can't do it.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's so funny. It's like, what are y'all
dude,
doing?
it was right. And I was like, again, I wasn't trying to press him too hard because I'm at work. I'm not trying to be that guy at my job. It's not like I work in politics. I was just like at work, and I was just like, I was like, I understand voting for Trump. I was like, I'm probably not going to pull the lever for either one, but I was like, I just don't even understand what is there to vote for in Kamala Harris. I was like, she was the vice president in that administration for 3.5 years. Apparently, she had a hand in everything, and no one can point to one single accomplishment.
Texas just turned red.
Yeah, I think
not fully red, but it's there. Yeah, Trump has a sizable lead in Georgia. It's showing 14.1%. Damn, that's a big old margin. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. Like we were talking about on the show Friday, Brandon. I said, when I said this would be hilarious if we lived on an island off the coast somewhere, but we also could watch American television, because this would be like the most entertaining reality TV, especially if Trump wins and watching the left have a meltdown. This would be some of the most entertaining TV
I'm in a pretty
ever.
safe suburb, You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So, I'm here for it. I'm here. I'm going to try my best to just enjoy tonight and just watch it. Just watch it go down.
Let's see. Oh, wow. Oh, wait. Let's say 1.3%. Yeah, it's 50 in Texas is 50.3% Trump, 48.5% Kamala Harris. Like, I have a feeling that you're right, that once all the rural areas come in, Texas is going to belong to Trump. And I'm sure like Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, all going to go. Nebraska, the Dakotas will probably all go Trump. She's going to have to depend on California and some of these other big states. But again, I hope that the Missouri State University campus, just in case Trump does win, I hope that they have all the counselors in place for when the young, impressionable minds on the college campuses have their unilateral meltdown, that they have enough counselors in place to give them the mental health care that they need.
If nothing else, I'm really hoping they have enough safe spaces.
Right.
Just enough safe spaces for college students to just, let out whatever they're feeling.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you gotta have that.
As long as the federal government is funding it, then I really don't care. Like as long as my money's going to it, then that's all that matters to me. I don't really.
Right.
I hope my tax dollars are going to those safe spaces for those kids, because that's what's right.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take care of you got to take care of the college kids. They are the future.
The emotional college kids.
Yeah, the absolute just wallet draining crap factories. some not all kids, but some of them, yes. Watch This Week in Missouri Politics live in 30 minutes. No thanks. I'd rather not listen to Hillbilly Thunderbutt try to tell everyone how much he loves oh God, Kehoe. So I'd just rather not.
Yeah, right. The Kehoe fan club. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Do you think Lucas Coons has a chance, or do you think this is a Hawley rap?
I think Hawley's got it under wraps, especially when you come off trying to say that that you're all about the Second Amendment, but you're not smart enough to not shoot at a steel target with an AR at 15 yards. And then you end up cutting the journalist there with you with the shrapnel because you're dumber, you're just absolutely dumber than dirt. So, I mean, I would hope that gets a bunch of people shook. I mean, that guy was the clown of the internet for a little while. It's like, okay, you don't know that you can't shoot at a steel target with a high-powered rifle that close? Really? You don't know that?
What I thought was strange. The reason I thought this race might be closer than expected is how out of his way. Like, a lot of the Republicans running in Missouri did not want to even talk about their race. They were never going to go debate the Democrat. Like, it was just too much of a lock. But Hawley was like in Lucas Kuntz's face at that at the state fair,
Yep.
and then went on Fox. Like, I don't know if Hawley forgot that Fox's local affiliate in St. Louis is very left, but he went on a debate that did you even know? I don't know if you saw any of it, but it wasn't much worth watching. But it was he went on an unfavorable debate on top of, like, obviously they usually spend a bunch of money on ads, but it just seemed like he cared more than a Republican normally cares. Like, he was like that. He was actually afraid he might lose this race somehow.
I mean, with the way things have been going, maybe he got some intel that said, "Hey, you better get out there and like work hard." But
But from what's weird is all the polling has him up 10%. Like when I was looking at some of the polling earlier, maybe not 10, but it was like high. He was like up enough where I was like, it's weird that he is like tweeting he's not tweeting like what a job he's doing in the Senate or what he plans to do. He's tweeting like Lucas Kuntz is an idiot for shooting himself. Oh my gosh. And I'm just like, I just didn't see that coming from a guy who's up that much.
Hawley's just he seems to be one of those guys that when he does when he's zeroed in on something, he goes full send. When you have some of these hearings, Senate hearings, and there's video and audio clips of him galore, he will just roast the crap out of people, like hardcore. You're like, I don't even really like the guy and trust the guy, but when he's up there and he's in a hearing and he starts questioning whoever's sitting behind the poor fool behind a desk, he has no qualms of just setting them on fire, roasting them, and just calling them out.
He's good on certain issues, like on Forbes. Forbes is great because they have they post a lot of videos, like feisty videos from those Senate hearings and House hearings and stuff on their YouTube channel. And he's good on certain issues, but I will say he is fully in the pocket of the Israeli lobby.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, just so deep in their pocket. Well, it goes both ways. They're deep in his pockets with cash. He's deep in their pockets with favors. But yeah, he's in their pocket. He's so. I mean, I don't think it doesn't matter how many hospitals Israel bombs. He's going to give them money to the end of time.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I pulled the lever for the Libertarian, but I pulled the lever for the Libertarian for based on just because of our party's platform, more than the individuals running in each race. Although I do know a lot of the Libertarians running in Missouri, a lot of them are pretty good guys. But I was like at the national level, I was voting on the party's platform more than I was voting for the people.
Yeah, I mean, I'll admit I voted for Trump, and for one freaking reason, that maybe, just maybe, we wouldn't go to World War III. Not a guarantee, but we have a less likely chance of going to World War III with him because he seems to have people around him who want to end the Ukraine-Russian thing, even though he armed them in the beginning. He seems to want to get that under wraps and let's say, hey, let's get to a peace agreement and just end this fighting. That's literally like my main reason for. I just didn't want to see World War III, and I didn't want to see someone who I absolutely know won't be able to make a single decision for herself. That scares me a lot too, and that's why I did it. I'm not proud of it, but I did it.
Well, let's look at in fairness to Trump, let's compare him to like the Republicans that have either been in office or ran since the year 2000. George W. Bush, George W. Bush again, John McCain, Mitt Romney, and then he ousted Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis. So compared to all of those guys, he's way better. Like it's not. It's. I mean, like I said, I understand the Trump argument this time around because it's not like the evil got way more evil, and like when you're voting the lesser of two evils, one got way more evil, and one has a chance of being way less evil than every other president for the last 30 years at least. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, I get it. Like I do, even the libertarians who are voting for Trump, I don't agree with it, but there's a lot at play. Like with the way the Democrats push this misinformation, disinformation stuff, there's a real chance that like social media companies will just bow down to like a Harris administration on everything. That information won't flow as freely under a Harris administration as it would a Trump administration. Like there's real implications for this compared to like I said, Mitt Romney versus Barack Obama. What are we splitting hairs?
Right.
I mean, they're both disgusting. I mean, whatever.
Well-
this is not that. This is not the same thing as before. Again, I have my reasons why I didn't pull the lever for Trump, but like this is not the same as it has always been.
I'll tell you this, Brandon. The very first radio show that I ever did, podcast / radio show, when Romney and Obama were facing each other in the presidential elections, I played a clip that I found on YouTube. Identical questions asked to Romney and Obama, and they answered the questions almost identically. And so I was like, people, you think you're voting for someone who's different from Obama. I have the proof that these guys are the same guys, almost to a T.
This is a real clip that happened too. I'll have to dig back through my archives to see if I can find it because it's on the internet somewhere and it's hysterical. Mitt Romney is at a campaign event and he spouted off some policy he wanted, and he starts getting booed like from the crowd, and he's like trying to make his pitch for this one policy decision, like is one of his policies, and then like is getting so heckled he changed his position on stage and then got booed more for being like, oh, what do you guys think? Oh, they're like, this is the guy who's running is the guy who doesn't even have his own opinions. It's crazy.
It is.
Yeah, like I said,
insane.
so this is not the same as voting like Mitt Romney or Barack Obama or like this is not like if this was Nikki Haley and Kamala Harris and you didn't vote third party, I would be like, okay, you are like this is like there's something wrong with you. Like that, you know what I'm saying? Not something wrong with you, but you get what I'm saying. Like if you thought Nikki Haley was like way better than Kamala Harris, you're also wrong.
All right, so absolutely. So some early counts in. Now this is very early, folks. Mind you, let me bring up the screen here so everybody else can see what I'm doing. In Missouri, we see that Donald Trump is up. It doesn't even show percent reported, just 9,000 votes to 3,150. Kehoe is up by 5,800 votes. I did see early voting, early counts. Hawley's up a good number on Kuntz. Amendment 3, which is the right to abortion, is losing. To the no votes are ahead right now. Of course, this is very early. Amendment 7, voting procedures. Who would have guessed it? That's all yes. We don't want them damn illegals voting. And you're also peeing away any chance you had it voting differently than the primary system we have now. Well done. That could change, but I fully expected, especially Amendment 7 on the voting procedures to pass. And I knew like the abortion thing was going to start getting reported early, and the voting procedures apparently very early. Let me refresh this. Trump is up at 4%. He is up about 10% right now.
It doesn't happen to say who's reported, does it?
No, it just says 4%. I'm going to go back to the presidential election map because it shows right now Trump is losing. He was way behind in Kansas. Now he's gaining ground. Missouri, he is up 9,020 to 3,153. Not much else has changed. Of course, the normal. Illinois, of course, is going to go Kamala Harris. Although Well, there's a 26% difference. I expect more than that, but that I'm sure Cook County's not in there yet. Once Cook County votes, she'll be 2 million ahead because those people are out of their freaking minds. But
There's
anyway, why
so
am I doing that?
here's something I find interesting. I don't know anything about the race, but the governor of North Carolina, who is a Democrat, like I'm guessing he's the incumbent. Actually, let me backtrack this. The Democrat running for governor in North Carolina has won. Like they've already called the North Carolina governorship for the Democrat,
Dang.
but it's a pretty tight race as far as the presidency goes. So again, I don't know if he had like a great response to the flooding, or if it was the Republican who had a bad response. But I don't know. I don't know enough about it. But the Democrat, they announced the Democrat governorship for North Carolina, and I wonder if that means Harris might take North Carolina. But the race looks really tight, so maybe not. I don't know.
It's hard to say. All I'll say is, what are we doing here? I'm just being retarded to what I'm doing. I'm trying to scroll through and I scroll too far. All I will say is, as far as my votes went, I did vote for Trump. And almost every other state office, I just voted Libertarian. I did. Governor, lieutenant governor, secretary of state, treasurer, everything. Everything went Libertarian. And then when it said, should we keep these judges? Because I know most of the judges here in Missouri don't understand the Constitution. I put no on all of them. I'm like, nope.
I just didn't put anything. I didn't check. If I didn't know what it was or who it was, I didn't check it. So this is just might be kind of interesting for Missourians, I guess. Obviously where I'm at, the pretty Republican stronghold, like the state district I'm in. But the ground game that the Democrat put in this time is unmatched. I think she must have came to my door twice with things to just set on my door. And she had a sign all over the city of O'Fallon. Amanda Taylor was her name. She's the Democrat running. And dude, I don't agree with any of her policies, but credit to her for running signs everywhere. I'm guessing there's one that must be her house because you drive down Bryan Road in O'Fallon, and on this fence on the from the street you can see it. It's like a 8-foot by 10-foot, maybe 8-foot by 12-foot sign, banner that just hangs on this fence, and it's massive. And dude, her opponent, the only thing I've seen is he mailed me something once, compared to this girl clearly came to my door twice, or at least one of her surrogates did. So I'm curious to see how she did in Missouri, up where I'm at, because she just put in so much work on the ground game. It was crazy.
Now, what district would that be?
Oh, it's Dave Hidman. Let me look it up really.
Let's see. I'm trying to go through the...
Okay. District 103.
Okay. I don't even remember what Missouri House district I'm in. I just know I have a schmuck that's running, and I didn't. Oh yeah, no, I didn't fill his name in. 103. Okay, so it's Dave Henman and Amanda Taylor. Maybe he just. Sometimes people get really arrogant and they think they just got it in the bag, and they're just like, "Oh, we got this in the bag," and they don't even put the effort in. It's like, are you sure? Sure, that's the way it is.
If there's a high turnout, which I'm sure there was because Trump was on the ballot, I'm sure he'll win. I'm just curious if it's close. Maybe she'll win, but again, signs everywhere. I've never seen one person's sign more all over the place than hers.
Well,
credit to her. Like I said, she clearly put in the work. I don't believe in any. I don't trust her on anything that she says. But I was almost like, man, I did not do enough for my race at all. Looking at all of her signs everywhere, I was like, I should have just put signs everywhere at least.
Well, people, the name recognition thing does work sometimes. That is true. It does work on people, but
And her slogan was "People over politics," and I was
And you're
like,
like, and you're running as a Democrat? Okay, cool. Good luck with that.
exactly.
Good luck, sweetheart. You're going to need it. Oh, let's see.
Oh, this is just interesting. It's looking like they're saying that the Florida's Amendment 3, so I'm guessing the same as our Amendment 3 from the last time, which was legalized marijuana.
Yeah.
It's looking like they're saying that the no's are going to win.
It's so weird, isn't it? It's
That
freaking
is, yeah.
strange.
They
See,
had a check mark by the word no on MSNBC, so I'm guessing that's what it is. The yes was winning, but the no had the check mark, so I'm guessing that's because they're figuring when other counties vote.
Yep, it's legalized recreational. Oh, yeah, 20 minutes ago, Florida ballot measure to legalize recreational marijuana fails.
But it's winning on the vote right now, which is strange that they already said it's going to lose.
Well, it says
But it's winning in the
It
vote.
says no. It just says it did fail, which is crazy. Oh, it's projected to fall short. So it's projected.
I wonder if there's a higher
short.
threshold.
It might.
Like, I wonder if maybe it has to be 60% of the vote in Florida versus 50% or something. I don't know.
Instead of the stupid stuff that we have, which is 50 plus 1, yeah.
Right. They just screw the Constitution. Let's just have a straight democracy. If something has 51% of the vote, by golly, it's law.
That's majority rules, guys. Yeah, whatever.
Let's do a ballot initiative where every Friday the government has to make root beer floats at government facilities for all of the people. And let's just get 51% of the people to support root beer float Fridays.
I don't think you'd even have to push that hard. And people are like, heck yeah, let's do it.
More free stuff from the government? Yeah. We don't know what free... We don't understand what free from the government means at all.
Let's see. Trump, I guess he just projected... Oh, looks like he's projected to win Arkansas now.
They gave the District of Columbia to Kamala.
Yeah, go figure. That's a no-brainer. That's a cesspool.
You remember a while back when everyone was a racist if you didn't know how to pronounce her name? Like if you said it wrong, you were a racist.
Yeah.
I still don't remember which one's right.
It's Kamala.
I actually go back and forth
because
Kamala. Like, it's Kama, like Kamala, not Kamala.
Not Kamala.
So I had it right.
So you are a racist. Good job. You're a racist. Good job. Well done, sir. I'm gonna go back to the other page and go back to the election results. I need to scroll.
I'll be back in just a second. I'm gonna go put her down.
Whoa.
I'm gonna put her back in her crib.
Okay, dude. I was like, don't put your kid down. You're gonna get people to stop listening to my show or our show real quick.
Well, she has a broken leg, so we figured put her down.
Oh, she's like you're like a racehorse, huh? You're just gonna put her down?
Yeah. She's a champion horse.
All right, I'll see you in a second.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yep, folks, very interesting what we've got going on here as far as I don't know excuse me, I don't know how to why do I keep doing this? Turn my display capture up. I don't know how to gauge these things. I have no idea how to gauge this stuff. Sometimes you think, oh yeah, this is gonna do great or this is gonna do terrible, and then you turn around and you're like, well, I was wrong again. I don't gauge politics very well. I don't gauge how I think the public is going to respond to different things. I'm not a political scientist by any means, but it's just interesting to watch it all take place. It's interesting to watch, even though it's sad. It's interesting to watch the wedge that is driven between the people of just whoever, just people in general, just the wedge that gets driven in. And it's like, a lot of us could probably come to the agreement that generally government sucks and that we don't need them. And if we could all just come to that understanding, everything would be a lot less uh, uncivilized right now, a little more peaceful, and people would get along way better if you just understand that generally government just sucks. Okay, so right now Trump has an
Um,
8.7% lead and about 2.5 million votes in the popular vote ahead of the old Kamala. We should just start pronouncing her name wrong on purpose. It's way more
Kamala.
Kamala. Hey Kamala, boy, God, can you imagine her becoming president and then paying somebody to go to like very first press conference after her win, and they're like, President Kamala, and just watch her head explode, and like, wow, we already got rid of her head exploded. Next, um, that
President Kamala.
Kamala, yeah. Hey, Kamala Harris, do it like say it like some old hillbilly backwoods hill. I don't like that Kamala Harris. They're like, who? It's like that one video where those guys are like in Jersey. He's like, who do you want to vote for? He's like, Byron instead of Biden. It's some dude. He's probably drunk out of his gourd. I always get a kick out of that. Byron. He's like, take me out to dinner, Byron.
Delaware to Harris.
Yeah,
not a big shock.
Not a
news,
shock.
but not news.
Looks like North Dakota is trending so far for Trump. Trump's still in the lead. His lead is increased in Texas. Oh, North Carolina and Virginia are both swinging red. Ohio's starting to turn red.
Ohio went so far Trump. Like they went Trump in 2016 and 2020. I couldn't picture a state where Trump did worse. I could picture some states where he doesn't gain any ground, and that's what I think the Harris campaign was banking on. But I could not possibly see him losing a state that he won in 2020. I don't see it. I don't know. Like, he didn't change. He didn't, like, you knew what his presidency was then. He's not any worse rhetoric-wise than he was then. Like, what state would possibly flip that went for Trump in 2020 that would flip in 2024? I just don't. I couldn't see a reason why.
I'm sorry. Voodoo Queen's name for Kamala Harris or Kamala is Rugburn. Hold on. Rugburn Kami.
Rugburn Kami. Oh, Rugburn. Oh, man.
Oh, man. Talk about really getting people fired up. Walk in, where I worked, I know there's a bunch of Democrats, and they're like, oh, Rugburn Kami lost last night, huh? Just to watch him like, argh! I wonder if they'll have Prozac in the Prozac or one of those drugs up in the first aid first aid room tomorrow, so people can like chill the hell out if Trump wins. Again, I don't want to seem like I'll be ecstatic if Trump wins. I'm just saying if Kamala loses, the Democrat Party gets everything they deserved. A, because of the person they picked, and B, the way they've treated this country and the amount of insults thrown at everyone in this country over the last 4 years. They deserve everything they get. And I will enjoy watching every Democrat decry that this was not a legitimate election, that Putin helped, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm just going to sit back and laugh my ever-loving head off. Yeah, North Dakota is favoring Trump. That's not a big surprise. Man, if he gets Ohio and Georgia and Texas, Kansas went back to Trump. Let's say he gets everything. Let me pull this back up. What's lit up on this map right now, and he adds some states. It don't really matter what happens on the western side of the country. He grabs Florida, Texas, Ohio. If he can get Wisconsin, and he gets Iowa, Nebraska, South Dakota, and some of these other states, it's in the bag. And I can't stay up too late because I have to go to work tomorrow. But part of me wants to stay up late just so I can go and just turn to one of the like CNNs or the MSNBCs and just watching them all cry. I mean, nothing. I would enjoy that immensely.
If they just I want to be on CNN I want to have CNN on one TV, MSNBC on my laptop, and watch the moment where if they announce Pennsylvania for Trump. I want to see that moment.
Oh my God. Yeah, that would be hilarious. She's got a sizable lead. I mean, they only have 11% in, but she's up 300 something thousand votes.
Where?
Pennsylvania.
Oh, but they only have like 10% of Philadelphia County counted right now.
It's only 11% of the total 18%. Votes counted.
So it could get out of. I mean, it could go either way.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. It's just yeah, this is gonna be fun to watch. It really is. I want to go back and see it because they haven't posted any. I'm just trying to see if they've refreshed on the Missouri side of this thing, and let me see. So the governor's race has tightened up a little bit. Wassinger is still up. Vivek Malik is up on Osmak. Andrew Bailey is winning. Denny Hoskins is winning. Josh Hawley and Kuntz are only separated by 1.5%. Now, I know most of those votes are probably coming in from the metropolitan areas. So,
well, they would be in with everything else. So if Republicans are winning across the board by more than 1%, and that's still at 1%, that could be indicative of a tighter race.
Yeah, and so right now, sports betting is losing. Abortion is ahead. Gaming, Osage River Casino is losing. Law enforcement benefits losing. Voting procedures still weighing a lead. 15,000 votes. Minimum wage raise is losing right now by about. Well, yeah, it's the no's are winning in that by about 2.5%. But they're not showing percentage of how many votes are in. They're not showing. Oh well, like okay, so president 1% in, governor 1% in. Again, I guarantee you that's all from the metropolitan areas right now as far as the state goes. 6% reported on the presidential popular vote. Trump is up 18.4 million to 15.6 million votes. Let's go back to the election map on the presidential side.
Tennessee for Trump.
Yep, there we go.
Projected winning.
And he's gained a little ground in Virginia. He's gained a little ground in North Carolina. He's still about almost 300. Well, he's 300,000 votes ahead in Georgia. Texas, he's up by 300,000. Missouri, he's up by 7,000. Kansas, he's up by 7,000. North Dakota, of course, he's up. There's only 1%. He's up 3,600 to 1,259. So, and then Chase Oliver's got 96. Let's see. He's got a pretty out of all the third party. He's doing the best so far in North Dakota. Yeah, Texas, he has 0.6%. Jill Stein has 0.7%. Oliver's got a 0.5%.
He's from Georgia, so I'm curious to see how he did there. I know he didn't spend as much time in Georgia when he was campaigning, but he's from there, and he ran there on he was the Senate candidate there in 2022.
He's got 0.3%. He's doing worse there than he is in other states.
That's funny because he got 2% of the vote, or like roughly 2% of the vote when it was Herschel versus Warnock.
Oh yeah,
and he actually forced them into a runoff. And because you have to win 50% to win to win a Senate spot in Georgia, so they had to go to a runoff because of Chase Oliver getting 2% back in the day. So it's funny how much he just not even getting 2% in his home state.
Let me see.
Which I don't know if you saw in the news. I'm not going to bring it up because it's over anyway. But I don't know if you saw in the news what he came out in support of. But Did you happen to see that video that was circulating for a minute?
About the prisoners.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, what
about
is he? What is
the
he?
supporting transgender surgeries for prisoners, and I was just like, that's what are we gonna give them plastic surgery too? Like
Yeah,
what?
I couldn't believe he said that. I was like, is this real right now? Is this actually
Like
real?
I was just like, dude, I mean, that was like the reason half the party split and wouldn't vote for you from the jump was stuff like that. Like it was your infatuation with all of these like woke agenda that turned off so many libertarians from supporting your campaign in the first place. And
Yeah.
then like it was every step of the way too. Like the first day he won the nomination, he posted a picture in D.C. with Mike Termott, his running mate, and it said "Love Trump's hate." And I'm just like, dude, everyone wants you to. Here's what really annoyed me too about this campaign is I saw a few things come up on my Twitter feed that like I won't vote for Kamala Harris. I'm voting for Jill Stein because she's the pro-Palestinian candidate. I saw that not even just from leftists. I saw that from like independents saying that like people you wouldn't even think would vote for Jill Stein. They're like, I'm voting for Jill Stein because of her pro-Palestine stance, and I'm like, that could have been Chase. I was saying from the very beginning, I was like, being pro-Palestine, it's like obviously in some conservative areas it's not a winning play, but it's something every libertarian supports. Like almost every libertarian I know is pro-Palestine, and or at least like against Israel's genocide and against giving them the money for it. And I just couldn't believe that wasn't something he was championing to run on. He was like he could have picked like 3 or 4 particular issues that both of the other candidates are bad on, and ran on those. But instead, he tried to run on this like weird like I don't even know what exactly his angle was that he was running for, because you don't have the money or the media attention to just run a campaign. You have to do like what Jill Stein did, which she was like went on the radio and was just bashed the Biden-Harris administration on their approach to foreign policy. And I was like, that could have been you, but you decided to run this like woke agenda against the Libertarian Party. I don't know.
Yeah, when I saw that sign with Tremont and there was another gentleman that said "Hate won't make America great," and I thought, okay, your first step after winning the nomination, excuse me, is to put out a woke statement. Like
Like again,
who are you trying to win over, dude? Come on, man.
I don't hate Trump because of his rhetoric. I hate Trump because of some very particular policy decisions that he made when he was president and people he's appointed and his people he's endorsed in this campaign in particular. Mike Rogers, the senator out of Florida. Like, you know what, again, there's like reasons to not like Trump, but not liking him for the reasons that the Democrats don't like him makes you look ignorant. And one thing I don't want to be is ignorant when I'm talking politics.
Yeah, I'm going to pull the screen back up here. We got a couple Missouri U.S. House districts. Bob Onder. Now, I don't know how many. There's only been. I'm trying to do math in my head here. 33. About 3,400 votes, but Bob Onder is way up on the competition, and Sam Graves is way up on the competition. Nothing for. Nothing on District 2, District 3 is Bob on. That's where Jordan Rowden's out of.
Yeah, what's he looking?
He's got 1.7%. He's got 58 votes. Not surprising. He's run against Onder, and Onder made a big name for himself here when he was in the House of Representatives, and I believe he was a senator too here in Missouri. He made a big name for himself. So him being that far ahead, not surprising at all. Now the Wesley Bell, Missouri U.S. House District 1, there's no, no vote totals in for that. But yeah, Onder and Graves got a sizable lead.
Race. I don't know if it'll show it on there. Just if you while you're on there, if you can look for me. The sheriff's race for St. Louis County is a Democrat one-on-one versus a Libertarian. And if I'm not mistaken, the former sheriff who was a Democrat who got primaried who got out primaried this year supported the Libertarians.
Oh,
Like
so
endorsed the
is this Alfred
Libertarians.
Montgomery and Denise Dabney?
Denise Dabney, that's her name. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no votes in on that yet.
Okay, that's something to keep your eye on there
Oh
because
man.
apparently a lot of the Libertarians in St. Louis County and the city were both going super. They're really excited about her campaign. Like I said, she's in a two-way race, and she was endorsed. I don't know if she was endorsed or had the support, like a back, behind the table support from the incumbent Democrat.
That's crazy.
So, yeah,
Interesting.
that'll be something interesting to look at for sure.
I'm going to look back at the electoral map. Okay, it's still showing 101 to 71. Nothing's changed. Trump's still ahead. He's got a 500,000 over Harris in Texas. He's up a couple 100,000 in Georgia. He's up 10,000 in North Carolina, and he's up only 16,000 in Virginia. He is up 100,000 in Ohio. Missouri, he's up 13,000.
Oh, John, do you have a drink in front of you?
I have some water. Why?
I think Rachel Maddow just mentioned Russia. Take a shot.
You drinking vodka? The official.
That would be funny. Every time she mentions Russia, you drink vodka. Dude, that's classic. I'm buying a bottle of Smirnoff for tomorrow, bro. That's so funny.
I think even though I don't drink alcohol, I think it'd be funny to make a fake advertisement if Trump wins on Friday's show. We just say, whatever, find a classic Russian vodka name and say, whatever vodka, the official sponsor of the Trump campaign, and just as a joke. Or maybe we just say Vladimir's vodka, the official sponsor of the Trump campaign, just as a joke, because people are.
Dude, that would probably circulate on the internet as like fact. Like before you know it, you'd post that joke, and it'd be like Democrats would be like, "See, we told you he was bought and paid for by the Russians."
Some idiot would say it, and you're like, okay, don't be so dumb, dude. Come on, what is your problem? Go back to the election page here. We'll go back to election results here in Missouri, see if there's any updates. Donald Trump is the projected winner right now. He's got 57%. And I don't know. He's already. I love how they project this so early. So right now.
Well, it makes sense to me because like if you needed X percent in a like if Kamala Harris needed to win like 30% of St. Charles County to have a chance, and she got like 10%, then yeah, you got to call it.
So Mike Kehoe is up. Mike Kehoe is up. What's that?
Oh, sorry. You go ahead. You're talking about Mike.
Kehoe is up 18% right now. Wassinger is up 14%. Malik is up 14%. Andrew Bailey is up 10%. Denny Hoskins up 13%. Hawley is now back up 11.5%, almost 12%.
That sounds more about right.
Sports betting is still no votes over yes votes. Abortion is tightened back up. It's about just under 4,000 votes to the yes for the yes side. The yes side's winning, but that's tightening up. The Riverboat Casino is losing on it. Is on the no side. Is at 54%. Man, law enforcement benefits 61.9% no. The voting procedures, as usual, yes, it is winning. Now, the minimum wage raise is up 60.9% to 39.1%, but it is showing that only 1% reported on the presidential side, 8%, and Trump is up about 3 million on the popular vote. So interesting as this rolls on.
When I woke up this morning, someone had tweeted a joke. It said, Fox News calls Arizona for Harris, making fun of how in 2020
Oh
they called it
yeah.
for Harris, but it ended up being a super close race that she apparently ended up winning, but that's what the media says, is that she ended up winning that race, or that Biden won that race
Yeah,
in
they
2020.
really had to
But
go play.
they called it for him like that night, and they were still counting. It was a super close race, so everyone was making. I saw a joke. It was like Fox News called Arizona for Harris this morning. Thought it was hilarious.
Let's see, law enforcement benefits is, yeah, I can't believe some of these numbers are. Now the minimum wage thing doesn't surprise me. The voting procedures doesn't surprise me. The law enforcement benefits thing kind of surprises me a little bit. Now, of course, not a lot reporting in right now. That could change at any moment. But yeah, this is pretty nuts. I'm the most of the people that are winning right now doesn't surprise me. Like Kehoe being up 18% right now doesn't surprise me. Most people, I shouldn't say most people, but there are an awful lot of people in this state that love a rhino, and they seem to love their rhinos here in Missouri. Yeah, Trump's up 3 million and about 3.2 million in the popular vote right now, and yeah, he's still yeah. I love how the names flip. They put Harris, then Trump. Okay, somebody screwed up because now they've got Harris ahead by 16,000 votes. I think somebody messed up the board. Donald Trump still got the check mark next to his name. Kehoe's up, ooh, damn near 20% now. Wassinger's still up. Let's go down. Uh, Sports betting is still no's have the lead. The abortion thing is still about the same. The Riverboat Casino, the no's have it so far. Law enforcement benefits, the no's have it so far. Amendment 7, voting procedure, those are yeses winning, and me minimum wage is still the yeses are winning. Bob Bonder still has Sam Graves, Jason Smith, of course, he's another rhino. Nothing from House District 1 or 2 yet. House District, yeah, yeah, 1 or 2, nothing.
I mean, I'm more likely than not, Ann Wagner's going to walk away with it.
Yeah.
If you're basing off of primary voters too, because she dominated the number of primary voters comparatively, because they were both technically, Ray Hartman and Ann Wagner were both technically in contested primaries, and Ann Wagner got way more votes than Ray Hartman did in their primaries. So it just seems to be there's going to be more Republican support for her than there is Democrat support for him, and this district normally goes about 6 to 8% Republican anyway. So
I'm trying to
I
find.
didn't move the needle much. I don't think, John.
Yeah, it'll be
I
all
don't
right.
think I don't think I put my finger on the scale too hard this time. Maybe next time.
Maybe next
I'm
time.
not announcing my candidacy for this same race. I'm not announcing it for 2 years, but I will say that this is not the last race I've ran.
I don't see where I'm trying to find. I don't see the Kuntz and Hawley thing up here. It's like it's not on the page unless I'm just so Doug Beck and Robert Crump, Mike Henderson, GOP winning handily right now. Stephen Roberts, Robert Vroman, Joe Perils, David Gregory, Jeff Coleman, Adam Schnelting, Matt Williams, Chad Perkins. Oh, that's House districts. Yeah, there's not the Senate district for Hawley and Kuntz aren't up there right now. What the heck's going on there?
Oh, John, I'm getting ready to. I gotta hop off here.
Okay.
I'll. It was fun talking to you, though. I just want to say to all the listeners who supported my campaign this election cycle that I appreciate it, and appreciate you guys always being in the live chats and watching us when we go live. So, looking forward to more episodes and more of this in the future.
Absolutely. Have a great night, Brandon. Take care, bud.
Yep, you too, John. Bye.
All right. And looks like Patrick's going live here in just a couple minutes on the Missouri Freedom Initiative. So if some of you jump over to that live stream, I absolutely understand. I don't know how much longer I'll be on here tonight. I'm just, again, just kind of looking through, seeing, and keeping an eye on the results to see what we get as far as election. This election, again, I primarily wanted to focus on, I mean, the whole presidential thing is intriguing, but I really wanted to keep an eye on the uh, ballot initiatives. Nothing would make me happier than to see that people understand you're not supposed to keep amending the Constitution, so you just vote no on everything. That's what I would love to see. That's how I did it. Oh, it's going to amend the Constitution? Automatic? No. That's just like almost autopilot for me. Amending the Constitution? No thanks. Squiggle, squiggle, squiggle. Fill in all the no circles. And again, with the judges and stuff, I just like, no, these people don't know the Constitution. I don't want, nope. I just circled no. I don't have any clue. That is my bad. I should know who they are, but I just didn't care. I'm like, none of these people understand the Constitution. No, no, no. Now, a little later on, Tom March may be calling in. He said he was going to go speak in Cape Girardeau, but if he got home and I was still streaming, then Tom March said he would join. He would call in the show. So hopefully Tom makes it back in time, and we have a little visit from Mr. March tonight, and that's how. That's what we end the live stream with some Tom Martz. The soothing sounds of Tom Martz. Hey, oh. I don't know why I did that, but anyway, that was weird and freaky. But yeah, again, no matter what happens here, folks, there used to be a LRN, Liberty Radio Network used to run a little bumper, and it always said, freedom is the answer. What's the question? That's the question that we have to ask. Or that, freedom's the answer. What's your question? Before one of the famous magicians, Gillette Penn, he was on a show one time, and he made a comment that that if somebody brings something to you, hey, we got this problem here, how do we fix it? His answer was, how do we fix this with more freedom and not less? Which is the way you should answer the question. But the society we live in today and the education system that we have now, people think that the government's supposed to fix everything. They still have Trump checkmark, but it says Harris is in the lead right now. I don't know if they got this messed up or what. Oh, no. I think all the votes from St. Louis have come in right now. So it looks like New Mexico's... Oh. Harris doesn't even... Laura Ebke, a Libertarian Party, and Donald Trump. I don't know if these are correct or not, but Trump still ahead in Ohio, Virginia, North Carolina, Georgia, Texas, New Mexico. He's losing in Kansas. Right now he's losing in Missouri, but like I said, that's probably the St. Louis area. But he's seemingly right now is North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, and Wyoming all seem to be going for Trump. I don't know why I didn't bring the page up. Let me bring it up so you all can see it because I'm a Nimrod. Yeah, here's now Trump's up 120 to 99, especially when you get, New York and Illinois. But if he grabs all of this and he gets some over here and he gets Ohio and Georgia and Texas, not looking good for Rugburn Commie, as Voodoo Queen so lovingly called her. Not looking good for old Rugburn. But hey, it is what it is. All right, Voodoo Queen. I know some of you guys are going to go over to Missouri Freedom Initiative's live stream, and I completely understand that. That's like some of these folks in my live chat. That's their go-to, especially on election night. So I completely understand, And if you don't make it back to the live stream, I appreciate you being here for the length of time that you were. I appreciate you guys and being over here at all because I am more boring than other people. I'm not as intelligent as some of these people out here doing these live streams. Again, I'm not a political scientist by any means, but you know, it is what it is. And I'm just here killing time. My wife's not home, and I'm just like, screw it. I'm just gonna I'm gonna sit here and hang out with some folks. Yeah, so whoever sticks around, cool. If you leave to go to another stream, completely understand. I'm just hanging around, seeing if Tom Martz is gonna jump in. Oh, I apologize for going, folks. It's been a long day. But yeah, just sitting here hanging out. We'll see what happens. Because I have nothing better to do than jump on YouTube and do a live stream. Because I'm weird like that. I need to send a text message to Brandon real quick too. I'm gonna pause my mic because I'm gonna do text to speech so nobody else hears it. I'll even do this. I'll do this real quick. All right, now I'm back. Is anybody still around? Oh, one person's still around, or is that just me? Two watching now. Okay, cool. I'm glad you chose to stick around. Like I said, I just had to get off, and I didn't want to type out a long text message to Brandon because I forgot to tell him something while he was on the while he's on the phone with me. Let's check back in. Let's Oh my goodness! I apologize. Let me refresh the page here. Colorado, of course, that doesn't surprise me. Wyoming looks like it's probably going to Trump. All these, yeah, I can see Montana, Idaho. Oh, New Mexico is now no longer. Um, New Mexico is no longer showing anything. I could have swore it was earlier. Trump's still got a sizable lead in Texas, sizable lead in Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia, Ohio. His leads, growing a little bit. Missouri shows only 6% votes. And let's go to the actual duty floop here. It's still showing, I don't know, Trump losing, but a check mark. Yeah, so, wow, the governor's race, of course, again, this is probably all St. Louis and Jackson County and stuff, the big metropolitan areas. Missouri governor, the race is tightened to 0.3% from Kehoe to Quaid. That's probably going to swing way back the other way when all the rural areas come in. Lieutenant governor, like Richard Brown. Yeah, this is all St. Louis right now. And when rural Missouri votes get in, that's going to be, yeah, abortion went way up, of course. The Osage River Casino's a no. Law enforcement benefits, no. Amendment 7, yes. Minimum wage, 22% lead in the yes column. Oh, look at Wesley Bell compared to Andrew Jones. Yeah, Wesley Bell's going to win. It's a Democrat. It's St. Louis. Brandon's got 609 votes right now, 1.1%. I would probably get 2 votes, myself and my wife, if I ran. Bob Onder's still sizable lead. Sam Graves, Jason Smith, of course, Doug Beck, Mike Henderson. Let's see, David Jeffrey. Yeah, I'm really wondering why the Josh Hawley and Lucas Kuntz vote totals aren't up here. That is really strange. I'm going to come back to this other page here real quick, and I am going to check and see if Fox 2 Now has anything different. I'll go to the Missouri election results here. Trump's up to 137 to 99 on. Okay, yeah, that's Missouri. Kamala Harris is in the lead right now. Again, that's, of course, St. Louis area votes coming in. Yeah, right now, Kuntz, let me show you this. Kuntz is over Hawley, but again, we know that's St. Louis. Governor Quaid is now up, St. Louis. Richard Brown is up. So a lot of these where the Democrat is in the lead is, of course, all the St. Louis votes coming in. Yeah, because Hartman beating Wagner? No way. Onder's still got a sizable lead. Graves still has a sizable lead. Jason Smith, of course, that's not St. Louis. That's down around the Cape area, I believe. And let's see if they have anything on the amendments. I'm scrolling, all the state houses and all that jazz. I want to get to the amendments. That's all U.S. House. Then it goes straight to, yeah, that's useless. All right, we'll go back over to KMOV. We'll refresh the page. And then we'll go back down. Yeah, now Kehoe's in the lead over here at only 1.5%. Brown's still winning lieutenant governor. Yeah, again, this is all St. Louis. Lucas Kuntz is up by 6.5%, almost actually 7%, 7.1%. And the Amendment 3 is still, the yes sides have a sizable lead. Sports betting is still no's. River Casino is still no. Law enforcement benefits still no. Yeah, like I said, this is a lot of St. Louis votes coming in right now. So I don't think there's anything to I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for here, Billy. It's not. There's so low of why do I keep doing that? That's so dumb. Turn that off. It's just not sizable enough. There's not enough in to go, oh, well, there it goes. It's all over. We're gonna have Democrats elected everywhere. That's not what's going on. But it is interesting to say the least. So we'll just keep an eye on this, see how these things go. And again, I don't know how much longer I'm going to stay on here. Trump's got about 3 million more votes than Harris, Stein, then Chase Oliver. Robert Kennedy's got 106,000 votes. Cornel West has 14,000. Shiva Ayadurai, I don't know. Rochelle Fruit, Joseph. Constitution Party, how are they holding up? They have none. Joel Skousen has no votes. Oh, is that Randall Terry at 12,000? I don't know. I don't know all these. Pronunciations for the or what all these letter acronyms stand for behind the or in front of their names. I'm not sure what all these parties are. I'm not that hip and cool, I guess. Let me refresh this page here real quick. See what we get. Trump's still up 3 million votes. Harris is still winning in Missouri, even though there's a check mark there. He's going to be the winner. Kehoe's back up. Brown is still ahead of Wassinger. Osmak still ahead of Malik. So a lot of Democrats winning. Oh, the Hawley and Kuntz race is tightened way up. Sports betting's tightened up. Abortion's, God, 36,000 votes ahead. Amendment 5 on the Osage is still, the no votes have it right now. Law enforcement benefits, the no votes have it. Amendment 7, the voting procedure is still way up. Prop A minimum wage is up 19% for the yeses. William Bell is way up ahead. Ray Hartman still over Ann Wagner, but that is slowly fading. Anders way ahead. Sam Graves way ahead. Jason Smith way ahead. Doug Beck, who's the incumbent. And again, Hawley is not on here, and I don't understand why. Do they hate Hawley that much? I don't know. Do they hate Hawley that much? But yeah, it's crazy right now. It's crazy. I think it's again, it'll be interesting to see how everyone freaks out tomorrow if Trump wins. Trump's up 177 to 99. Right now, he's got Minnesota and Wisconsin. Those could be rural areas. He's got Iowa, Missouri. He's still down, but again, that's only 15%. He's winning. He's losing in Kansas, which is crazy. Colorado, no surprise. Looks like he's projected to win. Well, he's more in the red now in Ohio. Pennsylvania, he's still down. North Carolina, Virginia, Georgia, all swinging Trump's way. New Mexico. Now we got Wyoming in there. Yeah, if he takes Ohio, Georgia, if he gets Wisconsin or Minnesota, even if he gets Wisconsin, Iowa, and she doesn't stand a chance in hell. And tomorrow could be very fun to go watch and listen to. Go listen to the liberal media outlets. Could be very, very fun. Am I okay? I am doing that stupid thing again. There we go. Turn that off for a moment. I keep hitting the wrong button. Let me see here. I'm gonna look at something here real quick. We're gonna go. Just as an aside, I want to see how many people. So let's see. Oh wow. So I just seeing who was all over on this other stream over here. Patrick's got a lot going on right now. Got a good stream going. All right. Let me go back to what I was doing here. Oh, now Iowa's got Harris in the lead. 9%. Missouri's got 15%. Pull this back up. Harris got 15%, Missouri's got 15% votes counted. Only 2% in Wisconsin. I like how it says 0% in Minnesota, but he's up by. He's not. I mean, again, it's Texas is going way for Trump. He's got Oklahoma. He's got Wyoming, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, Georgia. He's still got a sizable lead. Decent lead in North Carolina and slim lead, 20-something thousand votes in Virginia. But Florida, seemingly he's got that one. 94% have been counted in Florida. So, of course, Illinois and things like that are going to go to Harris because they're a communist state. What do you expect? 15% of the vote in Missouri. So, we're going to refresh the page again. And yeah, it's nothing's really changed. So let me go check out the um, amendments to see what we got. We don't care about all that. Sports betting, still the no's have it. Abortion, the yeses have it. River Casino, no. Law enforcement benefits, no. Amendment 7, yes. Minimum wage up, oh boy, 70% to 29%. But again, all the rural areas have to vote. One would not surprise me if it passes at all. That and abortion, I figured would pass because people don't think about what they're doing when they do it. Trump is up 3,270,000 votes. So that's interesting. And that's another page that we don't have to look at right now. That's fine. Let me see. Yeah, this is pretty interesting, I would say. Very interesting. Um, Again, the fallout if Trump wins, that's going to be the most. I'm going to turn this one off. That'll be the most interesting out of everything. Is if Trump wins, just the outrage, just the utter and complete meltdown of the left, because they deserve everything they get. It's just no doubt about it. They get everything they deserve, and that crap cracks me up big time. Big time makes me laugh. Go back here, pull this up. We're going to keep refreshing the screen as things progress. Trump still has a sizable lead, 3 million. Let's see. Quaid is back ahead, 2% of Kehoe. Brown's ahead. Osmack's ahead. Elad Gross. I don't know who some of these people are. Shows you how well versed I am. Yeah, it's still too early. St. Louis votes everywhere, except in some of these areas. Again, Hawley and Kuntz are not on here. Let's see how Brandon's doing here. Missouri U.S. House District 2, 609 votes. Jordan Rowden's got 381. He's got 2.5%. Good job, Jordan. The better the better libertarians can place in a race, it just gives them a little more validity in people's minds, and they feel like they can vote for somebody like that and not be a quote unquote a wasted vote. But yeah, that's how it is. I'm going to take a quick break. If anybody's still watching, I'm going to take a quick break, and then I'll be back. I'm going to take a bathroom break, and I'll come back in a minute or two, and we'll see. We'll see what is happening right now in the election. Let me see. I'm going to pull up one thing here. Okay, but yeah, give me 2 minutes. I'll be back, and we'll discuss more and keep a close eye on election night. All right, we're back. Let's see. Let's check some more. Oh boy, let me get back over to the right page here. Let me refresh the page, and we will get the numbers up again here. Let's see. Pull this up. Of course, Trump. Well, he's not winning in Missouri right now, but again, I know that's again, of course, Crystal Quade's, and this is all St. Louis votes coming in. Nothing unusual at this time of night for it to be looking like. Okay, so Kuntz is now. Oh, it just says Missouri Senate. I wasn't seeing this earlier. Maybe I was going too far down. Kuntz is still ahead of Hawley by 9%, but I don't know that that's going to stay like that at all. We all know that because this first line. I'm suddenly I'm getting a Missouri. Who? I don't know how. Show me integrity and respect voters coalition. I don't know how I suddenly got a text about Amendment 7 passing, and suddenly I'm talking about it on YouTube, and suddenly I get this spam message about, oh, we got to do something about the Amendment 7. So anyway, Amendment 7 is winning. The yes are winning. It's shockingly the law enforcement benefits is, of course, again, this is St. Louis only, or majority St. Louis. So when you have minimum wage up 160,000 votes, yeah, that may change voting. Amendment 7, this is supposed to only legal citizens can vote, which is already a law, so I don't understand the whole thing. That is up right now, but let me go back over here to YouTube. Hey, Tom Martz. Hey, buddy, if you want to call in, I know I stepped away. If you want to call in and we can chit chat here on the stream, that'll be fine if you want to. If you don't want to, that's cool too, bruh. But I just wanted to, yeah. Brandon checked in for a little bit. He had to go. He's on baby duty, and not baby duty, baby duty. Yes, I mean I'm sure duty was involved at some point if he's watching the baby, but. Let me pull back up here on the election results. I will refresh the page again. I doubt anything's changed dramatically. Trump's still up 3 million votes in the popular vote. Oh, let's look at the presidential election map while we're at it. Let's see. 178 to 99. Trump's winning it. It looks like Trump's going to get Ohio. Pennsylvania is out of his reach. He's still got the early lead in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Iowa is favoring Harris right now, 10%. Missouri, Harris is being, again, I know this is the metropolitan area. Trump has closed the gap a little bit in Kansas. Colorado, now Harris is going to get New Mexico. We figured she'd get Colorado, but it doesn't seem like this was as tight as the media wanted us to believe it was, which is, that's a big shocker, right? That, let's see. But anyway, I don't know if Tom's still in here or not. I don't think Tom's in here anymore. Unless he's going to call. Anyway, moving on. I'm sitting here bouncing around pages of my other browser page, or my other browsers that's open, other browser tabs that are open. But yeah, right now, this is too hard to gauge. It's way too hard to gauge, and so it's just going to be an interesting evening up until whatever time. Could be good. Could be a real barn burner. if Trump wins. It could be a free for all, and I don't know. That would not gonna lie, it cracked me up a little bit. If Trump wins and I watch the left melt down, even though I am again not a big fan of the Trumpster. Let's go back, check KMOV again, look and see if anything's really changed. I don't see a big change coming until the rural areas, the rural counties votes start coming in, and then I think we'll see a switch on some of these. The one that's going to be interesting to see is how the Amendment 3 thing works out. Because I know you drive around a lot of rural areas and you see vote no on 3 all over the place. The minimum wage thing will also be interesting because I think a lot of people, even in rural areas, not having a grasp of economics, will vote yes on. Damn it! Why do I keep doing that? They will vote yes on. They will also vote yes on the Prop A. Sorry, I got a text message from my daughter, and I was making sure it wasn't something vitally important. But anyway, yeah, it'll be interesting once the rural votes start rolling in to see. Looks like Trump still got he's over 3 million ahead in the votes. Trump's closing a little bit in Missouri. I don't expect him to lose Missouri. But again, all the rural votes have to come in. And it would be funny if you like won Minnesota and Wisconsin. That would be hilarious. Virginia and Virginia's tightened up. North Carolina's tightened up a little bit. Georgia has tightened up considerably too. Oh, 2-4. Oh, man. Okay, give me a second. I need to do this and then do something else. There we go. Anyway, sorry. I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs and answering text messages like a good father. Yeah, I don't see anything here that's like mind blowing. It's just, oh, again, so early in the process. And we don't need to live in the. Why do I keep doing that? I don't know why. We don't need to live in the era of, what do they call it? Instant gratification either. So, there is that. I'm going to text Tom Martz and see if he wants to come on here. If not, then I don't know how long I'll stay much later because there's nobody watching, and I don't take that personally. I just know that Patrick's got a bigger thing over there on the Missouri Freedom Initiative, and so a lot of my viewers watch his channel too. So, I don't, I don't take it personally. If they're over there watching his live stream, it's all good in the neighborhood. I'm just gonna keep refreshing his page. If anything like really jumps out at me, and I'm like, oh wow, this, that, or the other happened, then I will pull up that page, and we'll see what we get there. What the hell? Wow, I just looking at the. I'm just sitting here looking at the one of the comments in the Patrick's live stream. Jeez Louise, what the heck is going on over there? Phew. Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, I don't want to highlight that. That was nutso. But Yeah. Anyway, it's this is going to be again. I just want to see the reaction to the if Trump wins, the left's reaction. I'm here for the entertainment value. I hate to say it. I'm going to refresh the page. Nothing really to see on the Trump side, except he's inching closer to a 4 million popular vote lead. Of course, Kehoe's still losing to Quaid, but I expect that to change as the evening progresses and all the rural votes come in. I totally expect that to go differently in a not too distant future here. That's just the way I see it. Um, and that's all there is to it. I don't see Kehoe losing to Quaid. I mean, it could happen. Nothing's out of the realm of possibility, but do I expect it as much favoritism as he gets from the cops and the police and fire and everything else, even in St. Louis? I don't expect Kehoe to lose governor's election. People again seem to like their rhinos here in Missouri. Not all of you, but there are some people that really love their rhinos, no matter what. No matter what happens, Kuntz is still ahead of Hawley, the incumbent. The abortion thing hasn't really tightened up too much. Sports betting's pretty close. Casino, Osage River Casino is still no votes have that. Law enforcement benefits, the no votes have that. Amendment 7 is winning by a considerable margin. Minimum wage is 165,000 votes ahead in the yes column. So, yeah, crazy, crazy, crazy. Crazy stuff. But again, not not surprising. Not surprising at all that that we're seeing the results that we're seeing. I wonder about the reaction if Trump wins. I have to go. Ooh, holy smokes. I am going to have to screenshot some things that I'm seeing right now. And it is crazy. Anybody know how you do a screenshot on Windows? Shift and S. Oh, Windows low key, Shift and S. Okay, well, since we're over here, let's see. What did it take a screenshot of? Good God, it froze up everything. Are you kidding me right now? There we go. Now we got her, Billy. All right. Let me get back to the important stuff here. Let me go back and let me see here. And let me go back to the election results. I'll pull that page back up. And let's see. Everything, not much changed yet. 22% reporting. They still have Trump as the projected winner in Missouri, but he's not up right now. Again, we still got a lot of the rural. Kansas is going back to Trump. New Mexico's back to Trump. He's still got the lead in Virginia, North Carolina, and Georgia. Wisconsin's going to go blue. That's 19%. Minnesota's still red. I say that's going to go blue. I'd say Montana, and Idaho are going to probably go to Trump. Arizona's a toss-up. It's California, Oregon, Washington, all going to Harris. Let me see what we've got here. Okay, so Malik's back in the lead, barely. 0.2% in the Missouri Treasurer, Attorney General Bailey's in the lead. So maybe the rural votes are coming in, and then now Kehoe is only a little 50, a little over 5,000 votes behind. So that's going to start flipping. Trump's going to start flipping it over too. So now Kuntz is still ahead of Hawley, but it looks like Hawley's gaining ground. The sports betting thing is still pretty close. Abortion is still got a made 66,000 votes, just a little under 66,000 votes ahead. So the rural vote's really going to have to come into effect here. Casino votes still got the nose winning. Law enforcement benefits, the nose winning. Amendment 7, big lead. Minimum wage, 165,000 votes ahead. Wesley Bell's projected winner in House District 1. Ann Wagner is now a few points ahead of Hartman, which is not surprising. Bob Onder's up. Sam Graves is up. Jason Smith, no big. I mean, none of these are like shocking, really. Brandon Doherty's got 2,289 votes. Very nice. Jordan Rowden was 613. He got my vote today. Libertarian out of House District 3. Yeah, Brandon's pulling. He's going to pull a few thousand votes. Good for him. Make a good showing, buddy. He worked hard on his campaign. He really did. And it's nice to see him getting some recognition and from the voters. I'm going to refresh the page again. Yeah, Trump's got 3.5 million votes ahead. Jill Stein is third. Chase Oliver fourth. Kennedy's 188,000. Crystal Quade's back up ahead of. This is an interesting race. Again, I expect Kehoe to pull it out towards the end. Wassinger is still ahead. Malik's still ahead. Bailey's still ahead. Hoskins is now losing. Hawley's still losing. And then everything else seems pretty much the same. Let me pull this off. Go back over here. Check the live chat and the other. Yeah, I my live stream's dead. It's fine. It's fine. Like I said, I had nothing better to do, and so I am just here. Anybody else that wants to show up can show up. It is fine. I'm just looking at some other stuff here. I'm just looking at other see if I can see everything that's been in this one over here. Okay, nothing really there. So I'm just going to pull that down. I'll bring this page back up. I'm going to refresh it again. And we'll see what we get. Yeah, Trump's still 3.8 million up. And he's gaining back his votes. Kehoe is back over the top of Quaid. So yeah, nothing too insane right now. I gotta look for something though. Excuse me while I minimize my pages as I'm looking for something let's see. trying to look for screenshots that I took a while ago. So bear with me as I wait for my computer to respond, because God forbid when I hit the file explorer that it would respond in a reasonable time. It's like this all the time though. So I gotta do a web search now. Let's see. Oh, okay, here we go. Simple enough, Billy. I gotta look in here. There it is. Whew, that's spicy. All right, I'm looking at something else that's going on in another stream, and it is extremely spicy right now. Let's see. Anybody? All right, that's fine. Go back. Let me switch back over here. Refresh the page. Pull this up again. I want to get it down here at the right spot. Here. Yeah, Trump is now gaining his ground back. Kehoe is back up a couple percentage points. Again, this is probably the rural vote coming out now. Wassinger's back up ahead. Malik's back up ahead. Bailey's up sizably. Hoskins is up a couple percentage points. Kuntz is still ahead, but he's lost some ground. Sports betting, no, is still winning by a narrow margin. Abortion has lost a little bit of ground. Let's see. River Casino on the Osage is the no votes still have it. Law enforcement benefits, the no's still have it. Voting procedures, the yes still have it. Minimum wage still 162,000 votes ahead. Wesley Bell projected to win, and Wagner is pulling away a little bit. Not much. Holy crap, that's close. She's only up by 32 votes right now. Darty's Brandon still got 2289. Rowden stuck at 908 votes. I'd like to see Jordan get some more votes than that. Just because he's a libertarian, and I think libertarians need a little more endorsing from people than what they generally get. Looks like, yeah, okay, so all these House districts here. I'm so terrible, I don't even remember what House district I'm in. Because my my state rep, who's is the incumbent, is unopposed, so they probably won't even post his stuff up here, which is fine because the guy doesn't. Oh, there was a St. Louis sheriff interesting race that Brandon, oh God, Libertarian is losing horribly bad. Wow, they thought really she was going to. Now, that's only 8%, but the Democrat St. Louis sheriff, Alfred Montgomery, winning big time. Of course, Democrats in St. Louis winning is not unheard of. Looks like all the bad property fine. What the heck is that? I wonder what the heck that even is. Let me turn this off. I got to look this up because I've never heard of a bad, what did it say? Bad property fine. I got to look this up. Let's see what stupidity St. Louis has come up with now. Let's see. What is this? Oh, November ballot proposal would remove cap on fines for vacant properties in St. Louis City. For property violations and allow the Board of Aldermen to set new penalties. It says Alderwoman Daniela Velazquez, the sponsor of the bill, said its intent to allow the city to pass legislation that would, hold negligent property owners accountable, especially corporate entities with large swaths of decaying houses in St. Louis neighborhoods. The board would still have to create a different fine and fee schedule, but we wouldn't be able to do that until we amend the charter. The current cap of $500 was implemented in the 70s, uh, and said that many owners will simply allow fines to stack up over time rather than make costly repairs. Um, yeah, they just while state law still requires a $1,000 cap on many property violations, Spencer thought of removing the municipal cap as a starting place. Maybe if your city wasn't such a rundown crap hole with um, people and crime rates so horrible and people just leaving in droves, that maybe you wouldn't have all the rundown buildings. I don't know. That's my guess. I'm not a political scientist, but Trump is up almost 4 million votes in the popular vote. Trump is now ahead in Missouri, at almost percentage point. Kehoe is up 4%. I need to get this back up here to the top and then scroll like a smart person. Secretary of State Hoskins has got about a 5% lead, a little over 5% lead. Kuntz is still ahead, but he's losing ground. Sports betting still staying the same. Abortion has lost some ground. It was up considerably. It's still losing ground. Riverboat Casino, no, still have it. Law enforcement benefits, no, still have it. The voting procedure, Amendment 7, the yes votes still have it. And the minimum wage raise has lost a little bit of ground. They still have 160,000 votes ahead, but they have lost a touch of ground. And Wagner, so this hasn't refreshed in a while. Let me see. Yeah, she still holds a 32 vote lead as reported right now. So let's see if Brandon can get up to 3,000 votes. That would be pretty badass if he got up to 3,000 votes in the election. That would be pretty awesome. I would like to see my co-host get 3,000 votes in the Missouri House District 2 election here in Missouri. Our libertarian friend Brandon Daugherty. But it's we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. Let's look at the presidential election map. Let's see what's changed. Trump's up a little bit more, 188. Missouri has flipped to Trump. Kansas, he got his lead back. Minnesota, he's still holding a lead. I don't see that continuing. Iowa, Harris still has it, but only 23% of votes counted. He still has the lead in Virginia, North Carolina, and Georgia. And yeah, Brandon says, as of right now, I'm the difference between Ann Wagner and Ray Hartman. That's he does have a point. That's a very good point. And sometimes a libertarian can sway things. She probably hates his guts right now. She probably hates his guts to death right now, because he's got almost 2,300 votes that she's not getting. That could give her a sizable advantage in the election, and she's not getting it. That's hilarious. Let's bring that up. Let's look at that. Look at that. Brandon Daugherty, our co-host. He's not here tonight. He's watching his new baby. But look at that. So the difference in votes is 32, according to KMOV, Channel 4 out of St. Louis. There's only a 32 vote lead between her and Hartman, and he's got almost 2,300 votes. He's taking it from one of those two, which just pisses them right off. They're probably losing their ever-loving minds right now, and I think that's hilarious. Like I said, minimum wage still up considerably. Let's look at abortion, still up by about almost 9%. But as the rural votes come in, that could flip, because I bet you the majority of St. Louis County polling places have reported in, and now we're getting all the outlying areas outside of like St. Louis and Jackson County. So I'm going to say right now, because again, Trump was down and now he's back up 37,000 votes. He was down 30 something thousand. Now he's flipped it. Kehoe's gained considerable ground. Now he leads by about 47,000 votes. And so let's look at the rest. Wassinger's up by 10%. Malik's back. He's up 11%. Bailey's up almost 13%. Hoskins is up almost 10%. Actually, he's up almost 9%. He's oh wait a minute, no. Yeah, he's down 8.9%. So Hoskins is up 8.9% in the vote right now. Kuntz has lost a bunch of ground. He was up several percent. He is down. He's only up 1.1% right now. Sports betting still the no's have it. Abortion losing a little ground. The yeses still have it. The casino votes, no's still have it. Law enforcement benefits, no's still have it. Voting procedures, of course, have it. And minimum wage, still considerably, the yeses have it in a considerable amount. House District 1, Wesley Bell, of course, we figured that. The vote totals still haven't changed on District 2. Brandon has, like I said, almost 2,300 votes. I need to text him back. And so he's doing quite well. He did work his butt off to go around and excuse me. He worked his tail off to get those votes. He pounded the pavement a lot. Excuse me, to get those votes. So, all right, let's refresh the page again. Trump's up 4.5 million roundabouts. Votes on Kamala Harris. Trump's projected winner. Kehoe is now projected winner of the governor. I don't know how they can do that at only 9% of the vote, unless they think that all the rural areas are going to vote for him, which is generally the safe bet. In Missouri, Wassinger is up. Malik is up. Bailey is up. Hoskins is up. Kuntz is still up, only by 1.1%. I'm going to go ahead and say that Hawley's going to win that one. Libertarians, I'm not sure of his first name. Oh, excuse me and my yawns. Young has 7,000 votes. That's a nice little turnout. Yeah, so not a big change right now. Let me go turn that off. Go back over here. Do some other things because I want to know. Because I am. Let's see, where'd it go? Oh, here we go. I'm checking out another stream to see what they got going on right now, and let's see. Just kind of looking at another. Yeah. Just looking at another live stream here, but don't need to do that anymore. I'm going to refresh the page again, bring it back up again, and see what we got here. All right, so Trump's up over 4 million now, almost 4, actually almost 4, yeah, basically 4.5 million. Trump's projected for Missouri. Kehoe's projected for Missouri. He's up 5.1% on those votes. I'm going to say Wassinger's going to win. Malik's going to win. Bailey's going to win. Hoskins is going to win. Kuntz has gained some more ground on Hawley. He's up 2.4%. So he's gained a little ground. He lost a bunch, and now he's gained some back. Sports betting is now ahead. Right to abortion still with a considerable lead, although that has shrunk for the yeses. The casino boat still knows. Law enforcement benefits still knows. Voting procedures, yes. And minimum wage gained a bunch of votes. And that, I'm going to say that the minimum wage law is going to pass, excuse me, here in Missouri tonight. It wouldn't surprise me one freaking bit. Because, again, people don't understand economics. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. So yeah, I'll hang here a while longer, folks. See what shakes loose. But it is quite interesting to see this going on. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be interesting to see what the outcome. Again, when I start, if you're just now watching on YouTube or Rumble, when I first jumped on here tonight, you know, we talked about liberty, we talked about freedom, and I don't care. Again, it could be Ron Paul running for office, right? It could be Ron Paul running, and he could win, but I don't expect anything to. I don't expect to. I wouldn't expect to see Congress operating in a different way. I just wouldn't, because those Congress critters could F up a crowbar in a sandbox, if you know what I'm saying. They could F up an anvil with a marshmallow hammer, right? They can. They're just most of those people are horrible. They're only worried about their own self-interest and their own preservation and their own power and their own money. So you get a Ron Paul in there, and the worst thing for them and the best thing for us is a Ron Paul type would just veto every stupid thing that came to his desk, right? He'd be like, nope, 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 nope. And he'd throw it back to them, and they would have to override his veto. And when the press gets all hot and bothered, the people get hot and bothered, he'd go, you need to go over to that building and talk to them because I vetoed it. They're the ones screwing the pooch right now. So it's still, again, I want to see the left meltdown after Trump wins. I'm not a big Trump fan. I'd rather have a Ron Paul type. Okay, that's just the way I am. I'm going to refresh the page. Let's see what we get. I wish this stupid PDF ad would, or this breaking news stupid ad would come out of screen. Okay, so Trump's still up 5,000, almost 50 or 5.7 million votes in the popular vote now. Again, let's see. Kehoe has gained some ground on Crystal Quaalude. That's just a nickname we can give her. Wassinger's increased his lead. Malik's increased his lead. Bailey's increased his lead. Hoskins, Hawley is now back up ahead by 530 votes. This is 11% reporting. Sports betting is about neck and neck. It is literally 50-50 for the most part. Abortion still up on the yeses. Riverboat Casino still no. Law enforcement still no. Voting records or voting procedures still no. And then, of course, Prop A, minimum wage, still up. And Wagner. Okay, so Brandon Daugherty has broke 3,000 votes. So now, Brandon, let's see you get 4,000 votes. Our Libertarian co-host Jordan Rowden has broke 1,000 votes. Let's see Jordan get 2,000 votes. Again, in the grand scheme of things, now there's a 10,000 vote difference, but that could be 13,000 votes if Brandon wasn't in the race. So my co-host is doing pretty well tonight. Why do I keep doing that in my screen over here? Anyway. Bob Onder, of course, Bob Onder was a heavy favorite. Graves, I don't know. He was an incumbent. Apparently, he was heavily favored because he's blowing Pam May out of the water. Jason Smith, he's an incumbent. He's a rhino. Of course, he's going to win. Doug Beck is the incumbent, and Crump is losing handily to him. Henderson is winning considerably. Steve Roberts, David Gregory, and Schnelting. So, yeah, this is all House districts. I'm not really paying attention to the House districts for too much. it was a shame. The Libertarian Party was really excited about the St. Louis sheriff and this Denise Dabney, and they really thought she had a heck of a shot because a lot of people threw their endorsement behind her. But being in St. Louis, Democrat, 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 they wouldn't know what to do. They wouldn't know how to vote if somebody. Oh, question 3: reproductive health. Look at that. 1.9 million yes, 654,000 no. I'm going to assume that's something to do with um, um, abortion, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go back up here. I'm going to go to the top, and we're going to refresh the page again. And Trump's still got about a 4.5 million vote lead in the popular vote. Again, Kehoe is kind of pulling away a little bit from Crystal Quaid, or as I call her, Quaalude, Crystal Quaalude, because you'd have to be high to think she's. I mean, don't get me wrong, Kehoe won't support the Constitution much either, but she would be. I think she would be worse. She might not. She might be better, but I'm gonna say that's highly doubtful. So yeah, interesting vote total so far. Let's go back to the electoral map, see what we got. Trump's at 198, Harris is at 99. New Mexico and Arizona early for Trump. Looks like Missouri. Yep. Iowa's now flipped back to Trump. Minnesota, Trump's still ahead, not by much. Wisconsin, Trump's ahead, not by much. Pennsylvania's went back to Trump. Whew. Virginia, North Carolina, Georgia still up in the air. Maine for Trump. If he gets Pennsylvania, he's got Oregon, but that's way early. But now he's got Utah for right now, Wyoming, Montana, New Mexico, and it could end up being a total landslide by the time this is done. And I did not expect that. Again, I just want to see what it looks like when the liberals or the left-leaning media loses their mind when Trump wins. Again, not a huge fan of Trump, but when I had to pick between, if I have to pick between him, Chase Oliver lost my vote with thinking trans and kids is okay, and then they just had a clip of him saying that, if somebody in prison wants a trans surgery, then they should be able to get it. That would be taxpayer funded, though, so I don't quite understand that. He lost me on those. So my decision was, do I want someone in the White House who seemingly wants to press us to World War III or not? I don't want to go to World War III. I went ahead and voted for Trump, and I will be straight up and honest about that. That's how I voted. I don't have any faith that he'll be that good at all, but you absolutely know what you're getting with Harris. An empty suit, puppet masters pulling her strings, and that's going to be it. Yeah, right now, Trump has 5 million more popular vote, and he looks like he's winning some key states. And yeah, like I said, Kansas is now up 45,000. I mean, Harris I think people saw Harris and went, okay, wow. I mean, Trump's losing Michigan, but not as much as I would think. I'm no political scientist, so I don't know. But if he wins Minnesota, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, holy crap. And, if he wins these, like Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia, and he gets Minnesota and Wisconsin, especially if he gets Pennsylvania, night-night. But anyway, so yeah, let me go back. I'm going to probably jump off here relatively shortly. If I had more viewers, I'd stay. That is not a guilt trip. That's just the truth. So yeah, Kehoe is still up considerably. Wassinger's up considerably. Malik's up. Bailey's up. Hoskins is up. Hawley is back up. He's up 18,000 votes. I would expect him to win. Sports betting still neck and neck, but the yeses are now taking over. Abortion still considerable, which it is way down. Um, Amendment 3 is still the yeses have it at 53% compared to 46%. The River Casino still knows. Law enforcement still no. Prop A still yes, even though they have lost a few percentage points to the nose. It looks like I'm going to say that the minimum wage law is probably going to increase. And, you know, it is what it is. People not understanding economics and what have you. But yeah, interesting night tonight. Again, let me go back to the presidential election map. I know I'm not. For those of you in here watching, I know I'm not on the the mainstream sites, but I just don't want to hear a bunch of liberals whining and crying. The left drives me nuts. But Trump has got a considerable edge here. Somebody posted somewhere that the prediction was Trump winning by about 20 electoral votes. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what someone was reporting. I'm going to go back one more time here. I'm going to refresh the page because I want to see. Yeah, Trump still got about almost 5 million ahead in the popular vote. Of course, he won Missouri. Kehoe is the projected winner. And let me get back up here so I can scroll the correct way. Treasurer Malik still in the lead. Bailey still winning. Hoskins still winning. Hawley has jumped up a little bit. He was up a little more. Now he's lost a little ground, but he's still there. Sports betting is back in the yes column. Amendment 3, abortion. They've lost considerable ground. That could change by the end of the night, depending on how people got out to vote today. Casino vote still no's. Law enforcement benefits still no's. Amendment 7 still yeses. And Prop A still yeses. So, again, we've got it's a long way to go. I'm expecting right now for Trump to win this. And then again, tomorrow I just get to watch. I get to listen to every liberal. I get to go on Twitter and see all the liberals losing their mind. And that is just that is entertaining to me. I'm somewhat childish. But I'm gonna deride some adult adult entertainment doesn't sound right. But I'm gonna get some kind of childish glee from knowing that they're all going to lose their ever-loving minds after Trump's announced the winner. That the left, it's going to be Russia, death of democracy, Nazis. They're going to have Nazi Tourette's. They're going to have, they're going to have Nazi Tourette's. They're going to be screaming and wailing and gnashing. There's going to be screaming and wailing and gnashing of teeth. And I'm going to be smiling because that's what you get for putting an empty suit up for election. All right, folks. I'm one more time, and I think I'm gonna call it an evening because I gotta work tomorrow. I mean, most of us do. I just don't want to stay up too late and watch this bread and circus. Yeah, Trump's still up about 5 million. He's up 5 million votes. Kehoe is gaining some ground. Yeah, everything is staying right about where I thought. So anyway, all right, folks, that's going to do it for me for this evening. I appreciate each and every one of you that stopped in and joined me in the live chat tonight for a little bit. And we'll see you Friday night right here on the Missouri Liberty